for it.
Welcome to Spoiler Kings, guys. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Tank Kramer. And if you see me, you got to see Brandman Brandon down there. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Not too much, guys. Hey, how's it going?
Man, crazy week. You had all the awards. You had the video game awards coming on. I mean, it was so much stuff going on, so much information, so much DC stuff coming. I mean, it's just been crazy.
Oh, that crazy week, Like you said, the video game awards, all that DC news, beginning with the cancellation of Wonder Woman 3 that dropped last night, and then the whole slew of additional news that came hours later, or rumors, we'll say at this point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. James Gunn came out and said, some are true, some aren't true, some they're still deciding if they're true or not. So,
and then The Rock was on Twitter, and then The Rock was on Twitter saying apparently it's all just talk right now.
Yeah,
I mean that's what he has to say now because all he did was talking, cost him $100 million.
Oh yeah, he was talking a huge game about Black. What was it? He constantly kept saying the hierarchy of the DC universe is about to change over and over and over again.
And there's the picture.
Yeah, not according to the box office, huh, Dwayne?
Too soon.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I don't get because some of these articles came out and said like it wind up losing them money and this and that, and then The Rock like that same day was like no. And then he came out and he's like,
almost impossible to lose money when he made almost $400 million.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we leave it at. It doesn't make any sense that it lost money.
I guess it said it lost money compared to, or it lost money
compared to projections.
No, compared to Batgirl. Like it lost money more than the whole value of Batgirl, which I mean that's kind of like splitting hairs because like the movie wasn't done. Like they still had editing, they still had reshoots, they still had
no marketing at all.
I mean that's like half of the value of the movie alone, like at least a couple million in marketing. So yeah, I thought that was kind of it was a funny article because everyone's like, oh, see, but I was like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay, whatever. I still think I don't know. Personally, I like the movie, so I'm not hating on it. I thought.
I didn't think it was bad. It was entertaining in a Sunday afternoon on TNT while folding laundry kind of way. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
It was entertaining enough. It was enough. I was entertained, except a little idiot on his skateboard. But that was it. But
doing the DDP.
It's so funny. When you hate someone, you hate them hard.
I freaking hated that kid. And I usually try to go easy on kid characters and actors, but holy crap.
That's so funny.
I couldn't stand that kid.
I mean, he had to have been bad.
I hated him so much.
His voice. Like it was probably I don't know if it was like they redid his own voice like in post or something like that, but I mean the whole speech at the end I was like that's him in the studio. That's not him there. But
that's a very big situation.
yeah, it is definitely. But
oh yeah, I know.
But my biggest thing is like as soon as that came out all over Twitter. I mean, it was trending last night, fire James Gunn. And I was like, why? Why? Yeah, it was legit trending. They're like, he's gonna cancel the Snyderverse, fire him, and he's ending Superman, and he's ending this, and he's ending that.
He's like, I just got here, guys.
He didn't even say any of that. It was like, Wonder Woman 3, that's scrapped. Which I'm like, cool. I don't know. It should all be a soft reboot. Keep Gal Gadot because she's only good as Wonder Woman. She sucks at everything else. Well, yeah,
and she's beautiful. Yeah. That's just what I mean. You gotta remember, she was Miss Universe. Like she was top 10 in Miss Universe. Like she is one of the most beautiful women out there. I heard everyone hating on her. I was like, come on, man.
Yeah, I think she does. I think she does fine as Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
She's fine as Wonder Woman. I think there's potentially other people that could do better than her. Sure, but she does good with what she has. We have to wait and see how what's said with James Gunn and Peter. Is it Safran? Did I say it right?
Saffron, I think.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Saffron.
I
Saffron.
think Saffron, yeah. So
We have to wait and see. We have to wait and see what exactly said before jumping to all these conclusions. And even even before jumping to, and even so, fire James Gunn. You know, what's that really going to do? Well,
why would we fire someone before it happens?
But they are. But the fan base already nagged their way into the Snyder Cut. So
hey, you guys hate it. I didn't hate it as much as you guys.
I didn't hate the Snyder Cut. I didn't say I hated it. I just said they nagged their way into getting it, which is what happened. But
that's funny because I was actually on Chillmonger's stream earlier today, and I told him, I was like, look, the worst thing you could do is to just totally go for fan service. That's the worst thing you could do. Like, you can't just, they hate something, so change everything to follow themselves. Because that's what Star Wars did. I feel like
exactly
7 was going one way, 8 decided to go another, and then 9 they're like, let's go back all the way to the beginning for what we had the first idea, and it was so stupid. You guys are making the movie, make the movie, and let's make a decision on how we like it or not. Don't follow all fans, because not all fans. Some are toxic. It is what it is. We are not all going to make the right decisions. Let you guys. That's your job to make the good decisions, and we tell you if you like it or not. So do it. Do your job.
Yeah. Like, it's one thing like getting input. Like James Gunn right off the bat, he's like, "Hey, what do you guys want to see?" And I'm like, that's cool, because also like he could just be saying it just to make everyone hyped and not actually listen to anybody, or he can like, okay, a lot of these people want this storyline, so maybe we do that. But like when you're just like taking and like, oh, they hated this, so now they want more explosions, or they wanted this, then you start getting like shit that doesn't make sense. Hence, the Last Jedi, it's like, and that's the stuff you get. But yeah, I agree.
Wow, I was going to say, if we hit 10 chat people, I was going to do a giveaway.
We're at 10.
So I'm going to do this real quick, guys.
Go for it.
Very nice.
I have a digital copy of a comic book. Or you gotta go to marvel.com/redeem. I'm gonna give everyone a couple of seconds to type that in, and then I'm going to give you the code, and first one, first serve. That's how it goes. So give you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here goes the code.
Damn, look at that.
Hope you guys get it.
Here
and done. Out. Hope you got it.
Yeah. If we stay at 10, I think you got a couple more codes. I still got a couple movie codes.
Yeah.
So
we'll do it every half an hour. We'll look in the half an hour. If we're at 10, we'll give another code away.
That dropped. Did everyone leave us to go redeem their code? It went from 10 to 5. Super funny.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Like, be back in 30.
Oh man, that's fun.
That's funny.
But Horky, I think he says team complete reboot. Recast everyone. The only thing I care about is Matt Reeves, the Batman universe anyway.
I was actually talking to a friend about that earlier. I completely agree with Horror Geek. I think the only one that is, salvageable, because obviously it was very much in its own universe, and thusly it could lend itself to this potentially rebooted universe, is the Batman. I'd say maybe do at least
DCEU. The Batman is not even part of DCEU.
But if they're rebooting, it could lend itself to this potential rebooted universe. There's enough wiggle room for that, is what I'm saying.
I would rather I talked about this before. I would rather do Batman Beyond, do some of these other things that we've always wanted to see, or redo some of the animated series things that have done so well. Go that storyline. I would rather than do that. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah,
this is personal. Yeah.
Well, there was that thing that got canceled, the continuation of the Batman animated series that got canceled. Maybe that comes back, but now no Kevin Conroy. So what happens there?
Exactly.
I mean, and there's other guys who've done well in other animated ones as well, but also Kevin Conroy's last Batman, the trailer just dropped, the Suicide Squad game.
The Suicide Squad game.
so good. That looks so good. And that's his last voice in it. So
back to the Batman and Robin verse.
I love Robin. I don't know why. I've always loved Robin. I love Nightwing. Like Dick Grayson is one of my favorite characters in DC. Plus like Green Lantern, but Robin and Zack Snyder killing Robin without any explanation besides Joker did it somehow, without which Robin it is, and not even showing any of it. It was like that really upset me, like as a fan of Robin. It was like,
yeah.
What? Like,
I understand what you're saying.
And then all he does is just look at it and just like, and then that's it. Never talks about it again or anything. And so I don't know.
Yeah,
I love it. He said, "Give me the Bat
nipples on
Family,
the bat
please."
suit.
Yes, I would love the Bat Family.
Yes,
to make it happen. But I think if you can introduce them slowly, not slowly, but in a way where it makes sense. If you just throw everybody in a movie all at once, like Red Hood, Red Robin, Nightwing,
you
like
have to
Batgirl,
explain who these guys are because Nightwing, like there's things that the Red Hood, there's things you have to give the backstory, or I could throw them all in there, but I just feel like it'll be the same problems you have with the Eternals. Too many people thrown in, you don't know who they are. You have no connection to them, and then you don't care.
Yeah. That's my
The problem with the DCEU is they tried just exactly what you guys said. They tried to cram too much all at once. Batman vs Superman was just one big trailer for the Justice League without even bothering to build it up. They weren't fixated on building a quality universe. Hang on. Oh yeah. Well, personally, I really like to call the movie Dawn of Martha, but they tried to do it all in one fell swoop. It was one big trailer for a Justice League movie. Without focusing on just making good movies and building up to a universe. There was no reason there's no reason a DC cinematic universe can't have just as much quality and longevity as Marvel's is now.
Yeah.
And last as long.
I personally think that DC has better characters. And that's what I want to know. Should they recast everything and do it the same way they're doing it? Or should they just focus on Superman and Batman since those are the two main ones? Get great Superman and Batman movies, introduce some of their characters, and then build off of that.
I'd say the way that I do it is, and this is totally hypothetical, by the way, is we already have a Batman movie. They could continue with that iteration of Batman if they wanted to. I'd say do maybe one more sequel to that. Start building up Superman as well. But I'd say just kind of bypass the origin and pull a Spider-Man Homecoming where you just assume that the audience already knows the origin. Maybe have, either...
They're the two greatest characters of all time.
Yeah.
You just already assume they know.
Yeah. And maybe have them do like at least 2 movies each. And then do a World's Finest movie, and in World's Finest, maybe they go up against like Lex Luthor or maybe Brainiac, we'll say, and then from there,
you gotta go Lex
maybe
first, and then Brainiac. Go Lex first.
Yeah. Sure.
Earth and
then maybe hint at other universes. Maybe hint at a glowing green flying man and a woman in a tiara. And then maybe from there, maybe a Wonder Woman solo movie and a Flash solo movie. And then maybe from there, after that, maybe do the first Justice League movie. That's kind of how I have it. But at its core,
give yourself.
Yeah.
The problem is that they rushed the Justice League. They needed to give this.
But at its core, I'd have like Bruce and Clark kind of being like 2 of the leading characters, and then Diana alongside them down the line, have the Holy Trinity. But it would be very much kind of like how Tony Stark and Steve Rogers were kind of at the core of the first couple phases of the Marvel universe. It would be similar to that.
Totally.
But I love a World's Finest movie.
For sure.
That's how I saw it. That's how I saw it playing out in my mind. Not a Batman versus Superman movie, but a World's Finest movie. Zack Snyder just saw some imagery from the Dark Knight Returns comics and thought it looked cool, and I'll make a movie out of it. I'll build a movie around it.
Andy says,
I think that was the full.
Way longer than Marvel. That's why Marvel understood the need to build a foundation. DC is a victim of its previous success in boardroom movie making. It's literally the best. That's they have the best characters, and when you have the best characters, sometimes you don't understand that you need to build your fan base. You think everyone already knows what's going on, and that's why they ended up where they ended up.
It was frustrating.
Yeah, going back to what Brandon said was the World's Finest. That's what I thought they should have done, because you're having them be enemies without any emotional attachment. So it was like they don't know each other, they don't care about each other. So who gives a shit, And then Martha is the thing that connects them, which is stupid, But if they were friends first, you know what I mean? If they learned that they work together very well, even though they're very opposite and they have the same goals and same ideas and stuff. But then doing a World's Finest, like you said, and then having them fight each other. That's what it should be.
That's exactly what Marvel did.
Exactly.
So that's the problem. Steve Rogers and Tony Stark were friends, and then they had the conflict, and then they were able to rebuild again. And they probably should just did that same exact thing.
Yeah, but
we got Loki Cage.
Hey, what's up, man?
To Thanos DC younger actors stories, we're probably about to have no got yet. He was definitely perfect for taking the DC over DC. I think he is perfect for taking over DC. He's going to get rid of a lot of the stupid stuff and bring in the good stuff back in. And he said, agree or disagree, Zach had a plan at least. At least he has a plan.
He did,
but
it was not a good plan, man. I mean, if people want to get upset because it's not staying true to the comic book. He was going way off the comic book, and everyone was cool with that. So I don't get some of the arguments sometimes with fanboys. Especially he was gonna have Bruce and Lois have a kid, and that's what was gonna drive Superman angry. That would have been so stupid.
I would have been so angry about that.
I'm cool with that.
He did have a plan. All joking aside, it was just a very questionable plan.
This wasn't a good one.
Yeah. They oh my bad. Yeah, Edgelord
World's Finest. Exactly.
That's exactly what it was. It was. Yeah.
He said the build up is everything. Was the build up in Marvel? That's exactly what it is. You should have done. You should have built it up better, and we could have had an unbelievable thing. I mean, can you imagine? It's still the best. We never had a good Green Lantern. Green Lantern has one of the best stories. We still haven't even touched that.
I was so disappointed with the Green Lantern movie. It could have been, by all accounts, it should have been amazing. I was so excited when they were doing Green Lantern, and I walked out of the theater just perplexed. Huh?
I walked out of the theater. I did not finish the movie the first time. I walked out of the theater.
I was hoping something would have changed. I'm like, maybe he becomes the Hal Jordan that we all know and love. I was like, nope. It's got stupid. You would click with that.
Oh yeah, that version of Hal Jordan was a joke. He quits the Corps just because Sinestro hurt his feelings a little bit.
You guys can read this on the screen. I can't read this because we're not family friendly, but yeah,
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to get classical before I get there.
Mike went by who? Well, I guess maybe Wonder Woman.
He said it would. I remember that because he said he would have that happen in prison to Bruce.
That's so stupid. All right, go get out of here. Get out of here, Snyderverse.
I'm just gonna remind you guys, Batman's just a dude. I don't want to open up a can of worms, but he's a dude.
Yeah, but
he's a bad
Green Arrow. He was in jail and he's just a dude and he didn't get R-worded, and he was a badass in jail. He almost busted that glass because he wanted to get to the bad guy on the other side, so that's It's
Zach said,
Zack
Zach
Snyder.
was Drago. If he dies, he dies. If DC dies, it dies. This is just what it is.
Yeah, I don't.
Way too edgy. That's
Yeah.
working. And he said, never watched the Green Lantern.
Don't.
Good job.
Don't.
You're not missing anything. You're doing the right thing.
Yep.
I'm actually jealous of you.
My back, Zach. I didn't think about it. My back. Ow. Is that too Shawshank for you? Then Knox asked for ew. Don't use any kind of abuse as a plot point. I hate that in movies. I agree. I don't like death as a plot point, and I don't like any type of abuse. I agree.
Yeah. Not a fan. Once I found out what his vision was, I was like, oh man, they made the right call, man. And I don't get how people was so behind it. I was like, no, man. And everyone loves Man of Steel. I'm like, it was okay. It was okay. I didn't hate it, but I didn't think I loved it as much as some other stuff. I had a lot of issues for me, but yeah.
I thought it was. But there were a couple things that.
What's up, Zach?
What's up, Zach Attacks? Yo.
What's going on, Zach?
Bad Zach. Yeah. I said Zach. You changed it. Yeah.
Wrong Zach. Now for me, so real quick, what you were saying, like how I think it should just be a soft reboot. Let the Flash do its Flashpoint, and then just soft reboot it. Let Gal Gadot still be Wonder Woman. I don't know if Batman with Ben Affleck is still a good idea because they have a lot of drama with him.
Yeah, I loved him as Batman, but that's me personally.
I thought he was great as Batman. You know.
Yeah, but he's having a lot of issues. Like, does he want to do it? Does he not want to do it? Like every year, it's a different like. You know, is he with J-Lo or is he with this person? Is he want to be Batman? Is he best friends with Matt Damon? I don't know, man. That man's all over the place.
That's the one thing that stays.
Is it though? Because I heard like there's rumors that they haven't talked in a while.
Yeah, but for a while for them,
I'd be fine. Yeah, I'd be fine with them not continuing with Affleck as much as I liked him. I thought he was a great Batman. Just kind of was working with not so great content, but. Yeah. I would like kind of like a younger in his prime Batman. Hence, you could kind of keep on Pattinson. I think like him and Clark should be roughly around the same age. If I have my way.
You just told me that you don't need to do a whole origins thing, and then you're gonna say, well, but then they mean the younger Batman.
Yeah, I said we don't necessarily need an origin for Batman or Superman. We already have our Batman.
You could. That was an origin story.
He was 2 years into the game.
Yeah, I want to say it was an origin story. It was more early career story.
Yeah, he wasn't really Batman yet, though. I don't know. Okay,
no. But I hear what you're saying. You know, we didn't see his parents get gunned down in the alley again. That's what I'm.
Yeah, very true. Batman v Superman was bad. Don't get me wrong, but Zach made Superman look like Superman powers. And all, but rehashed Richard Donner. Yeah, Richard Donner. Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bryan Singer was a pretty big offender of that too. He straight up copied Richard Donner.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like all the X-Men movies because he ruined that shit.
Yeah, he's such a dull director when it comes to X-Men unless he has a good like storyboard artist and fight choreographer on his side.
It was fire.
It was fine. It was good. Yeah. I enjoyed it. They had some great moments. It's some great moments. I don't need and you know what? Yeah. Speaking of I don't know if you guys watched the newest season or the last season of Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
There's a whole part where they go in Bruce's mind, and it's the parents getting shot over and over, and it's just over every time they turn around. It's just alleys, like all next to each other, and it's all happened. Oh, it made sense in the show, but it was super funny just seeing them die again and again and again and again. And it was just like, oh my god, because at one point it started becoming like a joke, and she was laughing and she was trying to stop it and couldn't stop it, and yeah, it was good. But Harley Quinn was a really good show. Really, if you're a fan, that's
You have to do a Harley Quinn thing. I was talking to Martin yesterday. You guys need to do it. I haven't watched the whole series, the whole season yet.
Yeah.
I've watched more of that than you've watched the Stranger Things, so it doesn't count.
I love the Harley Quinn show. Yeah, it's really good. And that episode Harley Quinn was amazing. Yeah, that episode was really good because then she flexes her being a doctor kind of muscle. But yeah, man, but that's how you introduce. They started introducing a lot of the Bat family too. It all made sense.
It was done good. Centered around the two main characters. You can do these things and then build from there. But we're 30 minutes into the show and we haven't even got started. So we probably just started.
Why don't we do this though? If anybody's watching, because we're at 13 people.
Oh, right, guys. Here we go.
Hurry.
The Batman.
Speaking of. Let's go now to 3.
I got it.
It's gone.
Done. We're out. Keep it going. We'll do another one in another 30 minutes. So let's go.
I don't think that was 30 minutes, but I thought we were at 13. So I'm like, oh shit.
We've been live 30 minutes. We've been live for 30 minutes. I'm okay with that.
All right, let me make me smaller again. Yeah, let's do this Wednesday thing because we're getting what's his name coming in pretty soon, Sergio. Hopefully Elle comes in too. Right?
Oh my God, I don't know. I was like, you always are welcome. Don't worry about it. I don't know.
That made me laugh.
I don't know if she's gonna be. We'll be able to handle her though.
Yeah. Well, the last time I was on the show, she said she didn't get to watch it yet. So
yeah.
But that was also like a month ago. So
going to see Violent Light tomorrow. I'm going to go see it Saturday. So
yeah, I'm this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna do.
I'm gonna go this weekend.
Review. I heard good things about what
I've heard amazing things about it. So
yeah, it was excellent. Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and just start on this Wednesday one because I loved it. So let's go.
All right. You want to do a quick synopsis of just the season?
I'm gonna pull it up right now, and then we could go ahead and
then we'll do what we did with the devotion. Just some of the good, some of the bad, art rating. Oh.
It's hard because it's a whole series, but
it's a whole season. Luckily, it's only what 8 episodes.
8 episodes.
Yeah, I loved it.
Damn, my fucking show. I'm trying to see who won the game of the year. That should be the next one. Best direction, Elden Ring. Best narrative, God of War, of course. Best art direction, Elden Ring. Best score music, God of War. I mean, it's gonna be between those. Best audio design, God of War. Best performance, God of War. Yeah. Best indie. Best indie. Stray. That's good. Stray is a great game.
Stray was great.
It's such a silly concept where you're just literally a stray cat trying to go back home and get with your.
You talked about this so earlier.
It's so good. It's so good. It's really, really well done. It looks gorgeous, and it's just a cool game. Best Marvel Snap won best mobile. I am addicted to that stupid fucking game. I am addicted to Marvel Snap.
I haven't played that one.
I love card games. I love Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! Played a lot of that. This is basically a card game, just on the mobile. It's free. It sucks that I hate when I get so invested in, especially in a mobile game. I'm like, you suck. What was that? Best action adventure, God of War. Best role playing game, Elden Ring.
I mean, God of War was probably the best one. So I mean, I understand that's what's going on.
Best sports. Yeah, best sports was Gran Turismo.
Pretty much knew God of War was gonna sweep it.
Gran Turismo, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, like the NBA, the last 2Ks and Madden was even up for in the nomination.
I mean, it should have been though because
the new Madden.
Didn't Madden die like John Madden?
True.
This would be like
maybe.
Yeah.
All
right, I'm gonna do a premise of it, and then that's where we'll go for there because it's just every episode is something different.
Yeah. Looking for so all I'm waiting is for the
game of the year is Forbidden
West.
All right, I see.
You won it?
No, Zach said his game.
Oh, that's his game. My bad. I wasn't even looking at it. Forbidden West, that's up there. It's a Plague Tale, Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, Forbidden West, Stray.
I'll be writing fast and multitasking while watching. Good show though. Hit the like button, the views above 10, subscribe because we got a lot more stuff coming up, guys.
Oh yeah, appreciate it, Loki, man. Appreciate it. Hey, also, man, go check out Loki, man. Loki does some good stuff.
Andy got it.
There you go, man. Good job. Yeah, so you got to be ready for that. But yeah, go check out Loki Cave. Go check out Zack Attack reviews.
We really like Zack Attack. He's been hitting a lot of views, a lot of things.
Yes, yeah, I played that game so much. The Def Jam New York, the dub edition, the PS2
Midnight Club dub edition.
That was a good fighting game.
PS2, man.
Remember the title screen song? I think it was called like Real Big.
Hey, I believe in the Holy Trinity too: PC, Nintendo, and PlayStation.
The only Xbox I ever had played with was the 360. The 360 I thought was better than the PS3, but I had the original
Xbox, and I had we broke it.
I didn't care.
And it had all the games on it. It was like we had like 3,000 games on it. But okay, guys, focus.
All right, yeah.
We got to get to Wednesday, right?
Yes, Wednesday because Sergio's gonna be joining us pretty soon. All right. So you got
I got the premise, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So cool. Again, I think we can keep this around 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes, like what we did with Devotion. So
right. That's a movie. This is gonna be hard. This is 8 episodes of a lot of stuff going on.
I think we could sum it all up in 8 episodes.
Yeah.
20 minutes. Let's do it. I
think we can do that. All right. Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Kramer. I'm with Brian the Grizzly and Brandman Brandon. And we are going to review the new Netflix show that is breaking all the records. Everyone's talking about Wednesday Addams. But we're going to get into some of the good stuff, some of the bad stuff, and our official ratings at the end. But until we what bad? Yeah. Sorry, I got thrown off. But Brian, Brian, why don't you give us a quick rundown of what the show is about?
All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a little quick premise. Wednesday is expelled from her high school after dumping live piranhas into the school's pool while the boys' water polo team is practicing in retaliation for the team bullying her brother Pugsley. This leads to her parents, Gomez and Morticia, to enroll her in Nevermore Academy in Jericho, Vermont, a school of a monstrous outcast once attended by them. Wednesday's cold, emotionless personality and her defiant nature makes it difficult for her to connect with her schoolmates and cause her to run afoul of the school's principal. However, she discovers that her psychic ability now allows her to solve local murder mystery that's been plagued with the town for a while. So, very cool, very good. It's really a mystery series. And I told Ted that when we first when he started to watch it. This is like Scooby-Doo on crack.
Yeah.
Super dark. Yeah. It really is a murder mystery kind of show. So with that, we'll get into some of the good stuff before anything else. We'll start with Brandon. What are a few good things that you like, man?
First and foremost, that's an easy question, easy answer. Jenna Ortega. This was her show to run. She was absolutely great as Wednesday Addams. Everything about her, I don't have one complaint about her performance. She just killed it. She was great. Furthermore, nice to see Tim Burton kind of answer his true calling, huh? He directed a handful of episodes of this. I think has anyone ever seen like any of the art of the of storyboards that Tim Burton will do for his movies by chance?
I've seen.
So like the demon, the monster. You could tell that had his fingerprints all over it. It looked just like some of the stuff that he storyboards. It looked just like his art. Even the supporting cast, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Luis Guzman, both great as Gomez and Morticia. The Addams clan was very well cast. The supporting characters were pretty intriguing too. I'd love to see more of them, like some of the other students at Nevermore, particularly Bianca, I believe was her name.
Yeah.
Great supporting character. Yeah.
Oh no.
No. I'm talking.
Bianca is is our
The siren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the siren, right?
Yeah, I think she's probably my favorite supporting character, and I really enjoyed the whole mystery vibe. And it's also great to see the OG Wednesday Addams, Miss Christina Ricci, back in this. That was a great callback. I guess they announced they're going to delve further into that with season 2, because I'm hearing Angelica Houston's going to play the new headmistress in season 2.
Hey, spoiler alert. I didn't see that yet.
Oh.
I mean, that's just rumor at this point. I mean, they just announced season 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, there was a lot of it was a fun watch.
Yes,
for sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you. Go next, because
you want me to go?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Some of the good stuff was definitely like you said, the acting. I was really happy. I was like, finally, America gets its own version of Hogwarts. You know, like, you know, and I was like, it was really cool. Like, Nevermore was something I think like a lot of Harry Potter fans can really get into that kind of style too. You know, it's like, oh, cool, we got one here now too. You know, it's like, and they had their own little houses and cliques and stuff. So it was very high schooly, you know, American style. But yeah, it was like that. I thought was really cool, but the storyline, you know, was great. You know, a good murder mystery, who's done it kind of thing, like done well, like done very well. It was fun. Kept me guessing the entire time. Every episode, I kept telling my girlfriend, I'm like, that's it. And then it's not. I'm like, oh no, that's it. Like, you know. And then by the end, I'm like, see, I had to have been her. And my girlfriend was like, like. You got it on the 8th try, but yeah, it was a super fun story. And I just love the very Tim Burton ish, you know, like Brandon said, and I just love the darkness of it. You know, it felt very Addams Family, but mixed in with some other kind of like stuff as well. And yeah, you know, super digging it. But.
Very cool.
Man, what about you, Brian?
Well, see, I loved everything you guys just said, but I think I really want to focus on the world that they created. Exactly what you guys said, the Harry Potter feel to it. They created a world that we could go back to and see more and more things every time we go in. You know, the characters are really cool. We could dive into those characters. They gave us just enough of it to understand that this is, as we do it, we're going to see so much more. As you said, with Bianca, I mean, with so many of those characters, I feel like there's so much more story behind it, and we're going to be able to enjoy it. And it also gives you a feel of something that everyone's felt, it being an outcast in a high school. No one really felt like they're the popular kid. There's only like the top 10% that really feel like the popular kid. You know, everyone felt like a little bit of an outcast, a little bit, you know, in their own little group, and everyone can feel that in the show. And I thought that's really cool. And it's dark, and it, you know, they have some high school feels, but there's also some adult feeling to it. There's a lot of things that it could bring in, a lot of different type of people, and those are probably my favorite parts of it. And then Jenna Ortega, of course, is the best. She is so good, and the fact that we have the Addams Family with Gomez finally being Hispanic, makes sense. You know, finally they did it the right way, and I love that part of it.
Yeah.
That's where we go for me.
Okay. And then before we move on to some of the bad stuff, we got some of the comments in here. So Zack Attack Review said it's like Harry Potter times Chilling Adventures of Sabrina times Addams Family. Yeah. Yeah, I exactly, you know, very Harry Potter with the school, the Sabrina with the magic and weirdness, and Addams Family. It just, you know, for obvious reasons, it was Wednesday Addams, but had a very much Addams Family vibe to it, which I appreciated. That we'll get into in a second. They kept me guessing without being stupid. Exactly. Because every time it made a good reason why you would suspect it's somebody, and that was really good on their end for misdirecting. So very, very good with that. But then also, glad Tim Burton was able to do decent with black characters after his flagrant comments. That's true, because Bianca is you know, a young black woman, and she crushed it. Her eyes,
she was
were amazing. Like it was just like I don't know if that was just like obviously intentional, but just
It's
right
perfect
through
for
those
silent.
eyes. Exactly,
Perfect for a silent.
exactly. You're just like it was cool. It was cool. But let's get into some of the bad. What you got? Some of the bad, Brandon.
The romantic element really kind of felt shoehorned and forced and just done out of necessity because this was a female protagonist we were dealing with. Uh, they didn't it didn't seem terribly necessary. I think furthermore, as for the character of Wednesday herself, as fun as it was to watch her and as fun as Jenna Ortega and as great a job Jenna Ortega did, the characterization of Wednesday at times, Wednesday was always kind of macabre and kind of out there, but she did have an endearing quality to her even in the original movies with Christina Ricci and some of the other iterations. This time she just seemed kind of there were times where she was a little too bloodthirsty for me. We'll say the beginning she was totally justified, like, get off my brother, don't mess with my brother. I liked that, but there were other times where she just kind of came off as homicidal just for the sake of being homicidal at times, and I think that was a little that didn't 100% sit well with me. But I'd say those were my top two.
I'll go next. So kind of what Zach brought up earlier, that they didn't dig deep enough into the school, and I wanted more of the school, and I get what they were trying to get at, but they did bring in the school a lot with other stuff. I want to stay away from spoilers because like Loki and some other people might weigh, and this is definitely a must watch show. But they dig into a little bit of the school, and then that's it. And I was like, wait, I want more of that. And then they just moved on, and I get it, but I feel like they could have done a little bit more because the main plot is the school. Everything revolves around Wednesday and the school and this and that. But so I wanted more of that. But some of the other bad things was like the relationships kind of were cruddy, but some of her I won't say her intentions, but her I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a good word. She put trust in the wrong people at times, and I'm like, why? And I get that she had to do it for the story, but I was like, I don't feel like that didn't seem like her character. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is the person you should be talking to, and you're talking to this person, and you're doing this, and yeah, I was kind of like, I get it why you're doing it, but it didn't feel it didn't flow with that part of the story, but it wasn't that big part of the story, so it didn't ruin it for me or anything like that. That's about it. Well, there is one part at the very end where I was kind of questioning, like, I don't want to get into spoilers, but I was like, at the very end, I was like, oh wait, how is that person able to do that? But at that point, you're just like, F it. Like it's so good, you're just kind of rolling with it. But yeah, that's about it. For trying to think, because there wasn't that much bad things for me.
I hear exactly what you guys are saying, but for me, I felt like for introduction of a show, because that's exactly what I saw. I saw this as an introduction into a world. I didn't mind that it didn't go too far into the school because I feel like that's where it's going to go for now on. Because you have 4 years, you have a lot of years of things that you're going to be able to see. You're going to see her grow up in this school and see how it goes from here to here to here to here. And we're going to grow up with these characters and see where they go from there. So I didn't mind them not, going so deep into it because it's not a one-off. Because it's not a one-off, I didn't mind that. Yeah. And then
I thought it was going to be a one-off. But
I knew that after seeing that, after episode 4, I was like, they're going to go into this because there's so many characters in here that I'm going to want to see.
Yeah.
This exactly what Zach just says, exactly what I was just about to say. This was the CW show done right. It was dark enough. It wasn't stupid. It didn't insult my intelligence. And that's why I didn't mind any of these things. I do understand. The only bad thing I'm going to say is that it's the relationships. I feel like she did not care about any relationships, but even with that being bad, it felt perfect for her character. Not caring about the relationships made me feel cringy because that's who I am. It's me putting myself in that situation because I'm a very relationship type person. All the things I say are very relationship type of things. That's me putting myself on it, but I don't think it was bad in the show because I felt like it followed character. So I really don't have a definite bad. I just things I didn't like. I didn't think the chemistry was good with any of those characters, and I think that, but that's okay because as your first love interest, do you really have a lot of chemistry with that person, or you just are intrigued by that person,
or are you just a teenager with hormones?
Exactly, and things are happening. So that's why none of those things really bothered me. But overall, I liked it. So
I do want to go back real quick because there was something that I didn't like, and I didn't like from the trailer.
Okay.
I didn't care for Fred Armisen as Uncle Fester. I'm not a big Fred Armisen fan to begin with. I didn't like his version of Uncle Fester. And I usually do. I really thought I was going to hate the Nick Kroll animated version, and I really liked that one because it was way just goofy over the top. This one felt like it was trying to be both. Like it was trying to be the movie and the cartoon at the same time. And I'm like, what are you? You know, because he would even do kind of like the kind of like thing, and and he did a little too much. Where I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, like you want to be the cartoon, but then he was like the one part. Luckily, he's not in it much, but that was one part where I was like, it got too goofy with him in it, and I didn't care for it. That was the one part I didn't like. I had to think about. I had to push it away because it didn't really do much for me.
Totally hear you.
But let's get into some comments before we get into our ratings. Horror Geek said the same thing. Love interests were bad, lacking chemistry. And then Zach, so I didn't even know this. Zach Attack said even Jenna Ortega said the love triangle was bad.
Hey, no one cared about it. That's what it is.
Yeah, no one. Yeah,
I was like, whatever.
Yeah. And then she had more romantic chemistry with her friend. Was it Enid?
I don't know about Enid. I think that we sometimes
they were cool
about that. A friendship can just be that. Sometimes just be a friendship. That's okay.
No, I think that's what it was. It wasn't like romantic chemistry, but it was more.
It was chemistry.
It was chemistry.
Friendship could sometimes just be a friendship and not have to be more.
They became like sisters almost, which I appreciated. I liked it. But Brian, Zach saying Brian's right with giving a room for other seasons, which I do like now, because if this is like the American Hogwarts, like we can do a whole season of just really digging deep into how the school was made and all this and who they accept in and stuff like that. And I can a whole season just for that would be cool. But he said Thing was one of the best characters. Yeah, I mean, really was. He was cool. He was cool. And then also Uncle Fester was a little too goofy. Yeah, I didn't care for it. But with that being said, let's move on to our ratings. And then our ratings, we do a little different than some of the other shows. We do a now, later, never. We keep it nice and simple. So now means you got to check it out right now. Later means you can wait till maybe some of it dies down. Watch it while you're in the shower or clean the dishes. It never means just skip it. It's not worth the time of day. With that being said, Brandon, what are you giving this one?
Very much a now, no question about that. This was a great watch from beginning to end. Like I said, just the acting was great. Everything about it, it built up a world that I'm anxious to see more of too. So I definitely give it a now.
Yeah, awesome. So I'll keep the order going. I'm giving it a now as well. It was really fun. A good binge watch on Netflix. You can knock it out in a weekend. And the acting, if you love the original stuff, even the newer Addams Family stuff, I think you'll be happy with it. But overall, just a super fun time, and I really enjoyed it. So, what about you, Brian?
My favorite show growing up was Scooby Doo. So it gave me Scooby Doo for me now as an older kid, as an older person, older kid probably. I'm still into comic books. I'm still into cartoons things. I'm still into animated stuff, and it gave me enough darkness and enough adult content, and it gave me memories of how it was to grow up as a high school. So I definitely give it a now, and I enjoyed just me and my wife were able to watch it and talk about things and not know who was what. Yet it was very good. I enjoyed every part of it, so I'm definitely giving it a now.
Yeah, so there you go, man. 3 nows from all of us. Let's see what anybody in here. Zach said it's hard to compete against a great Netflix show. It really is. A great Netflix show is
because you're getting all of it right now. So it's not like anything you don't have to wait week to week. It is not drawing you out. It's just saying, bam, right here.
Yeah. If there's a low spot, you can just pick up right off and to the next episode, and you're back into it. So, I think Netflix was a great spot for this as well. Glad to see Tim Burton coming back and doing what he does best, really. But we didn't see a Johnny Depp in it yet. Yet.
Just
so we'll
wait.
see. Yeah. There's another season coming. But like you said, season 2 is gonna have who is that? Cusack.
Joan Cusack, yeah.
Joan Cusack, which was in Addams Family 2. Angelica Houston's coming back. Christina Ricci's coming back. Like, we're getting some of these original Addams Family people coming back and playing it, which should be cool. I want to see Christopher Lloyd. There you go.
Definitely now. There you go.
Definitely now. Yeah. So I would love to see Christopher Lloyd though in this.
A grandfather. But the problem is, once again, because it's now Hispanic, and I love that part of it. It's hard bringing non-Hispanic characters in it to be anything.
Well, he doesn't have to be
he doesn't
have to be a family. He could be a teacher. Same thing. He could do other stuff.
Ooh, a teacher. I love that.
He could be imagine Christopher Lloyd as a teacher, as a professor, like a doctor. I mean, then you can do Back to the Future and Addams Family at the same time. Come on.
There. There you go.
Yeah.
That's you get a chef kiss right there. That's perfect. I love it.
All right. Anything else, guys? Any last thoughts?
No, I just want to know what everyone else thinks about it. I would love to hear how'd you enjoy the Wednesday show? Did you watch it in parts? Did you binge right through it? What was your favorite part? What are things you didn't like? What do you want to see in the next coming season? What type of topics do you want them to tackle? Did you feel Scooby-Doo-ish? Did you feel Hogwarts-ish? How did you like it? And Jenna Ortega, do you see her as a star? And what do you want to see her next? So those are all things I want to know. And hear what you guys want to say.
Yeah. So anything else, Brandon?
That's pretty much it.
You good? Cool. So like Brian said, just leave a comment down below and let us know. And make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know when we go live. Hit that bell as well. But we're live twice a week, and we put up shows daily.
All the time.
So all the time. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. So but appreciate everyone coming in, hanging out with us. We appreciate all the people hanging out live. And thank you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Later.
See you guys.
All right. Cool. You good, Sergio? Yeah. All right. Bring him in. What's up, man?
What's going on, Sergio?
Sorry, man. Made you wait a little bit.
That's all good, my man. Don't sweat it. I'm just excited to be hanging out with you guys.
Man.
How you doing?
Hey, I was watching your stream. It was so good. You were doing the production value was so good on all the things that you were showing and all the comments you were saying. I was like, I love it. I was writing down stuff on my notepad. I was like, all right, this is next fun.
Hey, my man, thank you so much. I appreciate those words, man. Yeah, we had the we got a comic book awards coming up early next year, January 15th. We call them the Nerdies. Tonight,
awesome.
on the channel, we revealed the nominees and the categories and all that good stuff. I had a lot of fun, man. And I saw thank you. You popped in for a minute, so that was cool. Good to see you guys, man. And before you guys show the show, man, and the love, man. I see you always shouting us out, man. So honestly, I appreciate that, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Me and Tank finally figured it out. We're gonna let Tank be Tank. and I'll be spoiler king.
For the most part. We did that on Chill stream where I think we both came in as spoiler kings, and I'm sure Chill's like, what? Yeah, so yeah. But we were both in there, and I was same thing. I'm like, oh shit, I want to read that now. So I got finished watching the show because we went live right when you were kind of finishing up. So so definitely on there. Hey, what's up?
Thank you for jumping in. Hey, you're one of my favorites too. So I love listening to your views. So I'm just saying, so much stuff that I love.
She was on the show with Sergio.
It's so great.
Cookie's great. She's one of the House of Nerd regulars. She was on the panel with us, so
yeah,
we had a lot of fun.
But speaking of this, actually, guys, we've been keeping it. We got 10 viewers again. I'm gonna give up another
digital comic.
The digital comic. So if you go to marvel.com/redeem, this is where you got to go to right now. And I'm about to go ahead and give you the code right now. Give you 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. There's the code. Put it in. You guys grab the next comic. See what it is. This is from Yoda, Star Wars Yoda.
Happy people. There you go.
I'm loving a lot of the Star Wars things that we're getting from for comics. So here's another one. Tell me what you like. Hopefully someone grabs it, and we're going down in 3, 2, 1, done.
There you go, man. Give away. So you get the codes with the books that you get?
Yeah. So I'm at the comic book store all the time. So some of them have digital copies. So I'll grab like one of them every time I go in. I'll grab one of those, and then along with my stack of weekly reading.
Okay, I like that. That's a fat stack, man.
Yeah, man. I get maybe 4 or 5 a week. And
no, I go at 4 or 5 every time I go. I just go, hey, Brian, what's going on?
Going twice a day.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
So we right now we're just kind of like hanging out. We haven't officially started the episode coming up.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about what is that?
Thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Zach, for hanging out, man.
Yeah,
I know he said he was glad he caught a live show finally.
It's 11:15 for him, so in New York. So.
Yeah, it's late. Well, I know with Sergio too up in Canada.
I know in Toronto. Yeah.
Toronto, baby, East Coast. So you guys aren't on East Coast?
No, we're on Central Time.
Central.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Brandon, you too?
Yep.
Okay.
He's downtown Chicago. Look at him. He's all.
Oh, you're Chi-Town.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All three of you guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm suburbs on the south. He's suburbs on the north.
More west.
West, more, yeah.
West, yeah.
And then he's right downtown.
And
he's like,
cool, man. I've always wanted to travel. You know what's so funny? I don't know if you guys have heard. Toronto and Chicago, they're always compared to each other. In terms of
all the ones that are based in all the movies that are based in Chicago are really shot in Toronto because you guys have an amazing city.
Yeah. So I've always wanted to travel there, man. You guys have a dope house music scene over there. The birthplace of house.
I was gonna say that.
Yes.
Yeah. So man, maybe one of these days, man, I'll swing down.
If you do get here, we'll take care of you. I got all types.
Definitely.
Of stuff. I have like 7 restaurants around.
For sure.
We'll put you in all type of places. So
take
you around everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. For sure. You gotta do it.
Toronto is like one of my favorite places. I almost wanted to move to Canada personally. Yeah. It's the cleanest. It was so cool. It was so much more laid back. I just love being there. So that's
so you've been here.
I've been like 5 times.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so first time I put my toe in. I was like, oh, Windsor. All right, let's go. And then go to Niagara Falls, and then I've been to Toronto. I've been in a lot of places. I studied French in high school, so we will go different places. And it's the closest place to go to see a place that has French signs and French everything. So immerse yourself a little bit. So it was real cool.
Man. Yeah, we're bilingual up here.
What's up, Derpy?
Well, yeah, I always forget you guys speak French up there. Yeah, but I want to go to, especially Niagara Falls. I want to go on the Canada side, but yeah, man, Chicago's fun. But I think because we're part of like our Nerd Huddle network. So we have like sports side of it all, and the sports side, we have guys that live in like, well, one guy now he's all alone in Arizona, and then he had two other guys that were living in Arizona, and they moved over to Indiana, so they're like super close by us now. So he's all alone over on the West Coast or West side,
Mountain Coast, whatever.
Yeah, but definitely Chicago, man. Like the house music. I was like talking to somebody about that. It was like I really don't listen to that music, but I know, like, you put on a song, it's just like in your blood in Chicago. It's like you know it. You just know it. It's like you may have never like actually played it yourself, but the song comes on, you're like, yeah, I grew up to this song. Like you just it's just in the atmosphere out
everywhere
here.
you go. You in the street, you hear all the festivals and everything, because we do a lot of festivals, and you
a lot of festivals.
Every club that you go to, is playing some house music. You're like, all right, here we go.
Yo, I gotta make my way there in the summertime, man.
Oh my gosh, you lose your mind. You'll lose your damn mind. As a Canadian, my French is pretty bad. I can read but can't speak. I hope to improve that. I'm definitely better at reading and writing than I am speaking. But I mean, 6 years I studied French, so
okay,
high school and college. I'm definitely much better at writing and reading than I am speaking.
Okay, that's cool, man.
Understand more. I didn't even know Knox was Canadian. So there you go. Yeah. There's a derpy. We were talking about that earlier in the beginning of the stream. That's why we went so long. We're talking about DC, but the whole Batman live action fell apart. I think it's still going to be around, but
me and you on the same level.
It's gonna be different.
That's probably why why they're bringing in those directors for Batgirl. They're bringing them down, trying to talk to them, because I think they're going to be doing that Batman Beyond. They're going to put their fingers on that. I think it's going to be more into like a TV show, maybe, and they'll have their own streaming type of thing and give you more, series episodes.
Yeah. All right, you guys kind of ready? So we keep it like fairly. So we only got the 3 characters that we'll really talk about, but we'll compare the movie versus the show for Interview with the Vampire. So
I'm
good.
All right, let's do it.
Cool. And then I'll have so usually we'll start it, and then I'll introduce you, and then you give a shout out to your channel, and then we'll get into talking, and then at the end, before we all that, give another shout out to your channel.
All right, sounds good, my man.
Cool. All right, man. Let's do it. All right, welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Kramer. I'm with Brian the Grizzly and Brandman, and we have a special guest down there, Sergio from the House of Nerd Show. What's up, man?
What's going on, gentlemen? Thank you so much for having me on the Spoiler Kings, man.
Thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah. So before we get started, you want to give a quick shout out to your channel? Let us know what it's all about.
Definitely. Thank you, man. So one of the hosts of the House of Nerd Show. We are a comic book, YouTube and media outlet, man, with a focus on indie comics. We do touch on some DC, some Marvel, but
very rarely. You all indie. You're really indie.
Yeah, a lot of indie. Some
which
good
is real
ones.
cool.
Definitely.
It's really
that's really, really cool.
Because you get all type of these comics that I wouldn't necessarily want to read, and then I'm start reading it, and I'm like, dude, this is amazing. You really touch on those things, and it's one of my favorite shows on one of my favorite things watching. So
thank you so much, man. It's great to hear stuff like that. DC, Marvel stuff, is popular. It's always gonna be there, right? So we, try to focus on and put people onto things that maybe not necessarily have heard otherwise, right? So lots of great content in the indie comic scene, man. So yeah,
you're not wrong. Yeah,
just because of your show, I think I added another like 6 or 7 titles to my pool list. So so
I hope they work out for you, man.
There's a few of them that just started. I'm gonna get going in.
I got another box just because of you. Thanks.
Yeah,
a whole nother box just because.
I love to hear it, man. Yeah, for sure. Brandon, you're next.
So
Oh no,
Kids comics.
we make him go to Graham Cracker enough. He's been doing it.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I live just a few blocks away from Graham Crackers, so regular stop for me.
That's sick.
Yeah. So, cool. Yeah. So thank you, Sergio, for joining us. So we are going to talk about Interview with the Vampire. So we already did our rating for all the episodes and the season and stuff like that, and that kind of got us going because you, Sergio, were in our comments and we're talking about it. And we're like, man, we should compare the show to the movie. Because it seems like a lot of conversation is going around on it. I haven't seen too many people doing that. So I figured, you know what, that'd probably be a good idea because both Anne Rice obviously wrote the book and was involved in the movie. Same thing before she passed away. She was involved in the show as well. So she okayed a lot of the changes. So I was kind of curious on how they are. So we're going to keep our focus on Louis, Lestat, and Claudia. Okay. Kind of the main three, that we got. So
I saw a little
shout out to you guys. You Spoiler Kings and Cookie. You guys were the one who really, listening to the channel and hearing, all the great stuff. I said, man, I gotta check out Interview with the Vampire. And you know what? Oh, I loved it from the first episode, man.
So great, right?
Yeah. So good, man. So good. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good to hear, man. That because a lot of times, at least for us, I'm like, do we just like everything, or we just watch really good stuff because we know what to avoid. So you saying like it was really good, I'm like, all right, cool, So we're just not like super overly positive on everything. But like you said, it was a really good show. You go check out our reviews of everything. I'll put the link up there somewhere. But these characters, let me bring this up. I should have brought it up already. We have very different Louis. In Louis in the movie, we had Brad Pitt playing Louis. And here we have I can't think of his name.
Jacob Anderson.
Brought it up.
Yes. I believe.
Jacob Anderson, which the only other time we saw him in was Game of Thrones. He was Grey Worm. So so we know he's a pretty good actor. So with Louis being now a black man in New Orleans, in the the
early 1900s.
1900s.
Yeah.
Very different from Brad Pitt's character and everything.
In the 1700s, which is different too. Yeah.
So I figure the story revolves around Louis. At least he's the one telling the story. He's the vampire being interviewed. So we should start with Louis. We'll just go around the horn. We'll go, Sergio, you want to start, and then we'll kind of go up and around or down and around.
Sure.
What do you think about Louis from the movie or from the show? Like any similars, any differences, stuff you like one or the other?
Yeah, I think apart from the obvious changes from the film to, it's quite the drastic change, but I think for the most part, for the story that they're telling, it absolutely works. It's necessary. I would say, so I rewatched the film. Full transparent, I got about 2/3 of the way through. I couldn't finish it completely, but I rewatched it the other night, and I would say one of the things that came immediately to my mind was Louis' character in the film. To me, I found him a little bit more likable as a character. I think in the show, he's purposefully, there's a gray area with him. He's definitely he's a victim, but he's a very unreliable narrator in the show.
Yeah,
but you don't know what's what really. So I think that the producers on that show, I think they purposefully they tried to make him a little bit as an unlikable character. At least that's what I got from. So I found the film version was not so kind of gray. He was more like just he's the victim, Brad Pitt, right? Character. Versus in the show, we don't really know, man.
Mhm.
He's very in the dark. You're very in the dark about who he
Mhm.
is and what we're getting from each one of the characters. I mean, I think that was very cool. Kind of brings you in a little bit more too.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, it's more, I wouldn't say not relatable because I don't know how many people own a brothel, but it seemed more like that's what that this version of Louis would do, you know, being where he is and stuff like that. So, but
Especially with the way
Yeah.
that they introduced him right out the gate when they jump back to the early 1900s.
yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I that's something I didn't really even think about either, is like how he's more goody, I guess, in the movie. Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah. And Cookie came in, and I like that Louis had more to lose, family, business, estate, etc.
Exactly. He had more of
Yeah.
a connection to the actual world, the life that he was living before, which is a lot different from the movie. But I mean, I'm gonna let Brandon go ahead and do his take first before I off on the deep
Before you go.
You know me.
Well, I think I preferred this take on Louis. Just like you had said, Tank, they had friendlied Louis up in the movie, in the Brad Pitt version. He was very much a goody, you know, kind of I like that they explored more of the morally gray area with this take on Louis. You know, even using his vampiric abilities to go after a guy who said some nasty things to him. Just you know, he wasn't above being petty at times. I enjoyed that. I liked some of the kind of more questionable things he did, even between the past and even the present day, hiring these guys to his beck and call to feed off of, you know, these servants, that sort of thing. So I was a lot more engaged watching this take on Louis.
Okay.
The updates they made to the character, they worked for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else?
And while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna be right back. I just want to get something out of the refrigerator.
All right, go for it.
Go ahead.
All right.
Gotta get a cold drink.
Yeah.
I said I don't know what the Spoiler Kings rules are, and so I said I'm gonna leave the cold brewski in the fridge for this one.
Hey,
Oh, dude, no.
dude, we have a whole show talking about morning spike. We get drunk in the morning.
We take shots of liquor. If whoever loses,
I keep my moonshine with me at all times. You never know.
Hey,
I got two shot glasses. You know, so nothing's like taking a shot of whiskey at 10 o'clock in the
10
morning
o'clock in the morning.
on a Sunday.
That's big. I love it.
But yeah, it's
So
all good,
we
man.
have some wine.
yeah.
We
Good
always
wine.
ready, man. I'm a wino. Yeah.
That's the way it should be, man. What you got going on over there? Some Jamesons?
No, Jefferson.
Jeffersons. Oh, okay.
Yeah, some Kentucky straight bourbon.
Oh, okay.
He's a whiskey dude. Yeah.
I like whiskey.
Look at the beer. I mean, you gotta have some whiskey with that.
Yeah,
That's how you grow it, man.
I know.
Where's the wine? That's what we should have had. Had a big
Exactly.
chalice.
We should even have a big, just sitting there with the wine, like, all right, let's talk about these characters.
I said it's the perfect opportunity to bust out my bottle of wine. I got a nice little Cabernet Sauvignon. I said we're
Ooh,
talking interview
nice.
with the vampire, but
Yeah.
I don't know what the Spoiler Kings are doing. So I played it safe. But next time.
Nah, we're good.
Oh, most definitely. We're
Yeah.
big drinking.
I'm with it.
Yeah. So real quick before you go, Brian, because I know you got some stuff. We got some other comments talking about Louis. So Horror Geek said Brad Pitt called Louis the B word role and wanted out, but it would cost $40 million to pick the contract. That's crazy.
Oh, really?
That's crazy. He wanted out of that. I didn't know that.
Wow.
And then Knox said Louis was unreliable in the books because the first book it was from Louis' point of view, but the other books was from Lestat's point of view, and Lestat was like, "Oh, that's not how it went."
What did I say the last time we were on this topic?
That's exactly what you were
Yeah.
saying. That's exactly what you're on.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then Cookie said, "Yeah, I can't wait for Lestat's redemption. I can't wait for that too. Like all that stuff."
The
Yeah, the
first
movie- there you
episode
go.
is going to come in. The first episode of the next season is going to be off the chain.
If they do, the Vampire Lestat or stuff like that, I can't. Queen of the Dam, I can't wait.
And hopefully they do it properly.
he'll do it right.
I think so. I think so.
Mhm.
But yeah, he said the movie made Louis even more boring than he was in the books.
Mm.
So, well, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
But,
Okay,
all right, Brian, what you got?
So I want to say the book Louis was okay, but he was very dry and didn't have much of a life. Okay. Now in the movie we have with Brad Pitt, once again, he was the reluctant vampire. You know,
Mhm.
it's very much when I think about the movie, I think about you ever watch the show Angel?
With
You
the
know,
Buffy one?
Yeah, so like stuff like
Buffy
yeah,
spinoff?
yes.
Yeah.
So like very the reluctant vampire, very sad, very I don't want to be the vampire. I wish I'm woe was me. I miss my old life and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what I felt, we got from them in the movie with Brad Pitt, and it was
Mhm.
it's just boring. This one I thought was very awesome because he was more tied to his life from before. He had an interest in life. So a black man who owns a plantation in the South during the time of Jim Crow, and he's running a business and it's a brothel. And not just that, he's queer. Whoa, blows my mind. So he has connection, he has family, he has all those things that connect him to his real life. So now when he gets changed, he has a hard time letting go of that.
Letting go.
Because he's connected so much to it. He has family, and those things keep on coming up. Like what do I do with my sister? My mother? How do I deal with my business? I'm a businessman. I'm a black man still, and still have to take this BS from these peons because I'm above that now. How do I deal with now realizing I'm a vampire? So it wasn't like the Louis from the movie where he was like, "Oh, I hate everything vampire." It's more like, "Oh man, I have a awakening of I have more. I don't have to take this racist BS anymore.
Mhm.
I can go ahead and be above that. I can
Yep.
be a vampire, and you want to call me boy, and I'm going to show you what a boy can do."
The dope scene.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is
There were
so
times
very cool.
there were times he embraced it,
Exactly. Which is totally different from the movie and even from the book, which he kind of almost hated it. Another thing from the movie, he had 200 years of being a vampire. And he and Lestat really, I'm not going to get too much into Lestat, but had a lot of ups and downs, and they had history already.
Mhm.
In the show, we getting 30 years, 40 years right here. And that really changed a lot. And you see their connection in their relationship and how it kind of goes up and down. But he just was more interesting. Louis was more interesting. And then at the end of the show, we start to realize we can't trust anything we're hearing from Louis because we have someone else on the side who could have been controlling this entire thing. And that's why Daniel keeps on saying the discrepancies between what you said before and what you're saying now. Well, there could be a reason. There could be outside influence because of those things. And I love those type of things and seeing that. So I'm not going to take too much more time, but go ahead, Tang. You go ahead. Take it from there.
Yeah. Well, real quick, also had Horror Geek came in. Reminder: he only became a brothel owner because his family was in debt. It was the only one of the few businesses that a black man could make this much money in. So yeah. So even then he hit a glass ceiling without Lestat whiteness.
Yes.
So we're getting to Lestat in a little bit, or next actually. But yeah, with Louis. So I never read the books, but I know enough because my mom's like a super diehard fan, where she would I would just from osmosis, just her just talking about it all the time. But the movie though, like Brad Pitt was always kind of a boring character in that movie. You know what I mean? Like Tom Cruise was always fun to watch because just Lestat was better, and he was just kind of boring. That's why with this one, right off the bat with the show, like him being black changed so much right away, right off the bat, without even getting into anything else, you know. And then finding out how he's so attached to the human world still, or the mortal world. I don't know what you want to call it. But seeing like stuff like that, and then just he had more relationships that you start to empathize for this version of Louis.
And it also made sense now why he did kind of pushed away from some of the vampire parts of it, because he had a life, he had a connection to the human world.
Yeah. Which like not eating or not drinking the blood of humans, like eventually he stopped, and I never really got it in the movie. I was like, oh, because he just doesn't want to kill, which I'm like, I guess, but in here it gives it a reason. He's like, no, because these are people I lived with and I knew and I grew up with and stuff like that, like they're my neighbors more or less, these are people that live with me, so it was more like, oh yeah, I get it, I mean, like you don't want to do that. So yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, just this Louis was and Jacob Anderson, I thought crushed it. He was great.
Chef for what he did.
Yeah, he was great. He just brought so much more passion and enjoyment. Like he knew this was going to be something that he could do for the next, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years maybe. So yeah, he really crushed it with it. Where Brad Pitt, now finding out with whoever said that Brad Pitt didn't even want to be in the movie. It was a Horror Geek. Yeah, he was like, he was going to lose 40 million.
B word.
Yeah, so that's kind of crazy. I didn't know that. But
yeah, it's the first time I heard.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
True.
Well, also what, like 20 something years ago. So
I didn't even realize
30.
Almost 30, man. 28 years.
Yeah, 28 years ago.
Wow,
Yeah, 94.
Easy, man.
I'm old.
Wow.
Exactly. He said, I'm old. Like, yeah, we're all the same age. We talking about we old too.
Yeah.
That was a trip. Bro.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. I'm not old. I'm just leveled up.
Yeah, there you go.
Like a fine wine, Brandon, huh? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Word up.
But yeah, this Louis was just, I think, crushed it compared to Brad Pitt's Louis. And it's crazy because Brad Pitt is Brad Pitt. Even in the 90s,
Brad Pitt is like
hottest man in the world type of, like he was it, it was like, wasn't it like him and Tom Cruise fighting for like best actor and sexiest man alive, and they were both in it, so and it was still a fun movie. I'm not knocking the movie, it was fun, but comparing the two, this character is way more entertaining.
Gives more layers to the entire thing.
Exactly. He's definitely more a fleshed out character, right?
Yes.
The film version is pretty one dimensional, boring. Like, I think who mentioned that they don't really explain his dislike for not wanting to consume humans, right? It just kind of is. He doesn't want to.
Exactly.
Versus the TV version, it's clear, right?
There was an exposition dumper, like a narration of Louis when he's first introduced in the year 1791, just kind of explaining how he had lost his wife and child, and how he was kind of suicidal, and that was it.
Yeah,
that's the other thing that's interesting. He had a family before him, but he lost them. So he no longer cared about that world. So his life was already over when Tom Cruise gave him another chance at life. And that's why we get into Lestat, but I like Lestat a lot more.
Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much it with Louis, so if you're watching our replay, leave a comment, let us know, because a lot of people loved our last videos of Interview with the Vampire, so I was kind of upset we didn't do a weekly kind of breakdown. But if you're watching our replay, leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think about Louis, either movie or TV. Yeah, go hit the comments.
He saw that, but I had to give pre-Vampire Louis, the man I saw Lestat use telepathy, float, drink blood, and heal wounds, and Louis was like,
Yeah, like cool party trick.
When you down blood, you ignore red flags, and he already loves red flags anyway. So
That is true.
that's good. Really nice.
That's a toxic relationship. You're blind to that
Louis
stuff.
didn't hesitate to stab Lestat repeatedly when Lestat was killed the priest. That's so true. I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell by his performance he didn't want to be there filming when you talk about Brad Pitt from the movie. That's very true.
Yeah, and going back and watching it, it's very different now.
The only praise I can give movie Louis is that Brad Pitt is beautiful in the role, and that's it. He is Brad Pitt, man. Come on.
Exactly.
I'm a guy, you know, I'm a black guy, you know, and I was like 12, like, yeah, I'm like, that is Brad Pitt, guys. Come on. We know what he is.
I mean, in look wise, I mean, it really fit that classical Victorian vampire look like to perfection. Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise. I mean, the look was on point. The costumes and all that stuff, man.
The movie was a banger at the time, especially
production level.
From Anne Rice to that movie, like they really tried to stay true to a lot of that character, but it didn't give any depth, and that's kind of. But it's hard to get depth in a movie, but when you have a series, you can give a lot more depth, and I think that's something that Brandon said from the beginning.
And that's very fair. I mean, you're talking about a 2-hour film versus what, like how many was 7 1-hour plus episodes? So
I think it was 7 episodes, right?
Yeah,
more room to flesh out these characters, right?
And that's only one season. You know, I mean, next season they might decide to go 10 episodes. You know, now you got over 20. You know, not 20. Well, 7, almost 20 hours of character development.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Tom Cruise and Kirsten Dunst carried the entire movie. And said, Cookie, Brad Pitt started sad and stayed there.
That's true.
So good.
He was sad telling the story, and then he started off sad in the story of it.
Went there, and you were like, okay, just stay there the entire time.
Yeah, that is really true.
Yeah, one more time too. My main problem with the first book is that he treated slavery like window dressing. You can get rid of the plot. Not much change, not much changes in. I agree. I definitely agree with you, Horror Greek. But now we can go ahead and change characters. So we go from this Louis to the man, the myth, the legend, Lestat. So Brandon, you can take this away now, man. Now we can talk about something for real.
All right. So first and foremost, Sam Reed, wonderful. So great. I can't give him enough praise. I think before Sam Reed, obviously we had Tom Cruise and Stuart Townsend. Tom Cruise was, when it kind of boils down to him and Stuart Townsend, Tom Cruise was a lot closer to what I wanted out of Lestat. He got the he had the arrogance, the cockiness, Stuart Townsend just kind of had the recklessness of Lestat. But Sam Reed was the best of all worlds. He nailed it. He is my Lestat. The bravado, the line delivery, the French accent. Tom Cruise didn't have an accent. Stuart Townsend, I'm not sure what kind of accent he was doing. Most of the time it just kind of came off like his native Irish accent. Sam Reed actually did the French accent. I loved his kind of like no one can hurt me type bravado, the way he carried himself, just everything about him, man. Like it was a flawless performance. He was really Lestat come to life, leapt right out of the pages of the books. I thought he was great. I can't say a thing bad about his performance. He really is synonymous with the character, and he did that from the first frame that he entered for me. He sold me immediately. Just like Cookie said, he's invested in this character. This is more than just an acting job to him, and it showed.
Exactly.
You know, I thought I cannot say a bad thing about him. He is Lestat. I want him to get a Vampire Lestat show.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
What you think, Sergio? So where you going from this character from Lestat?
Well, like Brandon said, man, the flawless performance, really, man. I was like, the performances across the whole show, really, but this guy I was blown away from the first line, the opening scene with him. Yeah, I mean, you can just continue to gush about how he crushed that role. So, I'm not familiar with the books, so I don't know how he compares to the book version. I can just speak on the quality of his performance. Now compared to Tom Cruise's I refuse to rewind Queen of the Damned. Yeah.
He's funny. Yeah.
It's almost not even fair comparing, Tom Cruise's Lestat to the TV version, just because it's man, it's just it's just the quality. I think just the performance there, it's apples and oranges, man. I did enjoy Tom Cruise's Lestat though.
Exactly.
I thought he was great too.
Yeah, he was really, really good.
Yeah, I thought he was him, and I think I saw a comment earlier. Him and Dunst really
carried the entire
that film. Yeah, for sure, man. He was great, man. I like the look. I like Tom Cruise's performance. Yeah, I don't really have nothing to criticize about that. He had that similar. He had that air of arrogance to him.
I think brashness about him.
And that was really in the forefront of the Interview with the Vampire novel. Kind of his arrogance and brashness, and he had like that kind of gravitas to him. You could, I would kind of liken it to the popular kid in high school and college who never really had to work to kind of get attention or to get affection from others and that sort of thing. Just kind of real, kind of cocky and arrogant swagger. Yeah, Tom Cruise,
as nerds, we all like boo.
Yeah, but Tom really did a great job. I think Tom really understood the assignment, but Sam understood the assignment even more.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
My turn. Okay, so Tom, I feel like is like the exact example of what we get for all vampires from 1995 to current, where you get that he is that arrogant, love the vampire, love being a vampire. I'm going to hit you in the mouth. I'm with being a vampire. I'm going to be all what a vampire is, and I'm going to be the best of it. And you love that part, the arrogance, the proudness, the gravitas. Like he's that. Come in 1994, and you got to remember who Tom Cruise is in the 90s.
Yeah,
that's why that casting is so good for it, for at that time. Now, Sam took that and ran with it. Like he read the book, he saw Tom Cruise, and he said, "You know what? I could do it better." It was so good. I didn't realize. I was like, "You're Australian?" I thought he was French.
I'm not familiar with the actor. For sure that the actor, I would have thought, that's got to be a French guy for sure.
It almost didn't make sense how good he did in the arrogance, but the confidence and the swagger that he gave as he walked across the film, and even in every scene he was just totally like, I'm enthralled with just life, the life of. So how Louis had the life beforehand, we really don't know what Lestat had, but obviously this secondary life is the life that he really is choosing to live, and you can see he's taking it to the nth degree. And I love the way they did it, and Sam really just shows how good you could do with a character when you know the character inside and out, and that's what he is.
Yeah, he did his homework. Yeah. Like that was the thing is like, I don't know. Like I feel like maybe Tom Cruise was given just that book or something, and like, oh, this is what it is. But like Knox said, Tom Cruise did okay. He's more with one book Lestat only. Sam Reed is the entire series Lestat, which I think changes it when you can see the whole picture rather than like one thing. It changes how you understand the character. If you only see the character, studying to be a doctor and not seeing the whole picture of his career afterwards and this and that, it's like that's what it was. It was like, oh, this is only this part, and then Sam got
the journey,
the entire thing. But one thing, I think all you guys are kind of like saying it as well is, I don't know if Sam Reed would be as good if Tom Cruise didn't set a high bar.
Exactly.
Because Tom Cruise set a pretty high bar, because Tom Cruise was, for me, probably the most fun to watch in that movie. The character he was, and just the arrogant. It was very, it worked with Tom Cruise, with especially who he was back then, who was like on top of the world, kind of, before we knew his craziness in outside of movies. But yeah, he was like this action kind of star and doing all these crazy movies. And yeah, he just had this arrogance to him where like, okay, that's kind of Tom Cruise ish anyway,
You agree, Sergio? You said that too?
I was thinking, I think part of it is too, you didn't really see Tom Cruise in a role like that prior to, he was an action guy, or like, something like
Cocktail and
rom-com type ish, but so this was like, out of the box for him. So I think part of, the enjoyment is seeing him maybe not necessarily in his comfort zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was good. I had fun with his character in the film. Definitely, yeah.
Since AMC Louis is telling the story is more nuanced in interview than the last, we are seeing more accurate styles with Sam Reed's portrayal. It's pretty much what exactly what's going.
Yeah, I was looking for when Interview with the Vampire came out.
94.
94, right? Because before that, he really didn't. He was a lot of action star.
Yeah, this was before this predated Mission Impossible, which started in 96.
So he was more rom-com. He was the cool guy in Cocktails. He was,
Few Good Men, Days of Thunder.
Dramas and stuff, right?
Yeah,
4th of July.
I think I think his Magnolia was after. I think his only really, really big action one that he had done was Top Gun and Days of Thunder.
Yeah,
those are
the yeah, really. Because he didn't start getting into the weird, crazy stuff. Was he? Oh, he was Outsiders. That's right. He didn't really just start doing the other weird, where like not White, Vanilla Sky and stuff like that until like after. That was at 2001. Yeah. So Eyes Wide Shut too.
7 years later.
Yeah. So this was like, you're not an action star in this one. Like, you have to actually be this person, because I think that kind of changes like what you can do. But and then
Sam and Jacob were not only great individually, but together they were fire. Their chemistry was so damn good.
Stupid.
It was amazing when they were on the screen together. Boy, I couldn't take it away. Like, I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
Real time. It was so good, man.
Yeah, even the interviews. If you guys ever watch, just look up some of the interviews with them. It's like they're actual like friends, which I know it sounds silly, but a lot of these times they're coworkers. You know what I mean? And like, we have to go to the interview together, we have to work together. But like, they seem, I really hope they are friends in real life, because they just like have this like really good chemistry together.
It was almost like we were just privy to a conversation that they were already having. Like, they were just sitting there talking, they enjoying talking about stuff, and then we just get to see the outside, like, oh man, this is amazing. It was just that good.
Yeah.
But Tom and Brad were working together. We're just, we're both good looking guys. It's very Victorian. This is just what it is, you know. And
very different egos then too. Brad and Tom back then, both big egos. And then, now you have Sam and Jacob, who don't have the egos. So
we hated that Tom was cast as Lestat. Wow.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That one.
She changed her opinion after seeing him in the film because she's just that good. And Cookie says, yes, movie Lestat was a relationship of tolerance. The show was beautiful. I agree.
Yeah, that's because it was more, them just dealing with each other in the movie. In the show, it was you can see the toxicity in this relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because they actually dove into them. I think now that we're rounding up Lestat and we got Louis and Lestat, we can talk about their relationship because that's a big part of it. Where in the movie their relationship was a thing, but it was hidden.
It was 200 years of them
close friends,
ups and downs, and we don't know exactly what type of relationship it was, but it was kind of like, is it homosexual or not? We're going to hint at it, but we're not going to hit it. The show hit you in the face
right off the bat, which changes the dynamic of the relationship. You know what I mean? So like having toxic friends is like different than being in a toxic relationship. Very different, like kind of thing. And they were more like bad friends that dealt with each other. And this one, relationship.
Sam and Jake were actually best friends. In interviews and podcasts, they hang out a lot in their free time.
Yeah, I love to hear that, man.
And the Cookie said, didn't Ann take a full page ad as an apology to the Tom?
Oh, really?
She did. I believe she did.
That's awesome.
There's a couple of periods where they hung out with each other daily for a couple of weeks, and Jake was like, "That's probably not healthy." And then Orgy said their relationship only makes sense as a romantic relationship, which is in the books. It only makes sense that way. But so those tweaks that they did on the show, I feel like just added. It made almost another character. It made it so much more enjoyable because they had those type of relationships now, and it made sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but we had that. So we have Louis and Lestat.
Wait, hold on. I want to see if Sergio or Brandon got anything about like their relationship. Now we were talking about Louis, we talking about Lestat. Before we get into the next character, their relationship is really big. You guys got any thoughts or comments on their relationship, Sergio?
In the context, yeah. Go ahead, Sergio. I'm sorry.
That's okay, my man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think I definitely like the dynamic on the show. It makes for a lot much more entertaining television. Watching the film, I didn't even really catch the hints that they were in like some kind of a relationship, other than like maker, creator, and that kind of thing. And in the show, obviously, it's very clear from the jump. So I think just from an entertainment perspective and from a storytelling perspective, that's the way to go for these characters, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta remember, it's the early 90s, right? So a lot of that stuff was like you hear no homo all the time. Exactly what Knox says, it's like it's very trying to say no homo in the movie. So they actually thought that casting a woman as Louis, like
that's wild. That's wild.
Just to make sure it's not a homosexual thing. Now everyone's like, be yourself. Who cares? And more accepting of it, and it added so much. It was, as I said, another character in this show.
Yeah. And I think that's part of why Tom Cruise could only have taken that performance so far, because he doesn't have like the TV's that dynamic to kind of work with, right? The intricacies of the relationship and all those different layers, right? So I mean, he did good with what he was given with the material, right? Like where they wanted to take that character in, but in the show, we get what we get. Like some of the best chemistry I've seen in any kind of media, period, man. It was wild. It was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah.
This is exactly it.
Yeah.
Same. And the Queen of the Damned movie was a bigger offender of this. It really went out of its way to no homo itself, in terms of these kind of relationships were a really big thing throughout the books. And, in case in point, between Louis and Lestat. So I'm really happy that they leaned more into that. It just kind of added more layers to this very complicated relationship. I'm happy that they went there. I was really pleased to see that they went there. It just kind of furthered my investment in the show and just kind of had me more early, because they they made no bones that they were going into that very early on in the show, and I think that was a good hook especially if you're familiar with the books and what these characters are about. So I felt I felt a lot more reassured that the showrunners were a lot more comfortable and willing to move forward with this and go all the way.
So I got a question for you guys. So the source material, the books, the dynamic is a homosexual relationship then?
It was definitely a relationship.
Yes. It was a homosexual relationship. There was a lot Lestat particularly had a lot of bisexual tendencies as well.
So I mean, like, if that's what works in the source material, I mean, I get the 90s were a different time, but I mean, I feel like that's the way you gotta adapt it, man. You know?
Yeah, sometimes if you're going to proceed with something and you're going off the source material, sometimes you really have to go all the way, and
that's what made the show so damn good, man. Well, one of them, right?
And when I heard that they had when I heard they announced that they were doing a TV show, I thought it was a much better route for the source material.
Yeah.
You know, a TV series was where it was at with this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we talked about their relationship, the kind of their not healthy relationship. So so now we bring in the Band-Aid of their broken relationship. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, these characters are gay icons, and I'm so glad that the show didn't just hint at their relationship and gave it a full-on love story. I agree.
Yeah.
This show is also a huge step regarding queer representation. Not only the main characters are queer, but it's not just a boring contemporary love story either. They have layers too, just like you and I and everyone else. This is just what it is. This is who they are, and I think that's what comes across when you watch the show.
I think period pieces too as well. They lend themselves well to you know that the romantic, you know, whether it's Victorian or in the TV show's case, the early 1900s, right? You know,
very stiff. You gotta be very careful. Yeah. Thanks for the comments, Cookie Knox. Appreciate you guys being here. But they're definitely iconic. But so they're in a relationship, a lot of issues. And now we bring in the Band-Aid child. That's what a lot of toxic relationships always do. Whenever you're having a rough time, you're like, hey, let's have another kid or whatever it is. So in this case, they bring in Claudia. So now we bring in Claudia, who shows up in the movie as Kristen Dunst and in the show as Bailey Bass. And from what I understand, so finding out from the last time we talked about this, in the book, Claudia is like 5 or 6 or 7 something, which is holy crap. That changes the character completely. They aged her up in the movie. It's even more uncomfortable if you really realize like the stuff with her and Louis. It's really uncomfortable. So they aged the first version of her up in Kristen Dunst. She was about 14, I think, or 13, somewhere around there. And then they aged her up again in this show where she's about 18, 19.
I think she's still only like in the TV. I think she's only like 15 or 16, man.
I think so.
She's 15,
yeah.
She's 15
and in the film, she's around 12-ish.
Yeah, she's super.
It goes from 5 to 12 to 15. And 15 makes sense because you still look like a child, but you have all the adult.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're like right there on that border, I think.
That's when
7 years old in the book.
I'd seen the same reaction. Now that you know that character, and you're just like
about her and Louis, you're like, some of the stuff they show in the book is like
she's 14 in the show.
I thought she's.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, like 14, 15, and no older than 15. I don't think. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, she was able to pass as a college student, so you got to be old enough. But obviously, she's not that old. I mean, real life, she's 19, but
you can do that, though,
It's not but true. I mean, this day and age, man.
You see kids at 15 that,
it's crazy.
They act like they're 19.
So.
Yeah.
Grow up too fast,
But I'm pretty glad they aged her up, and I mean, one, it'd be hard to find a 5-year-old to be an actual like actress like that. I mean, you already had Kristen Dunst at an early age doing a great job. Bailey Bass is 19 in real life, so you know they're both very young. But yeah, I think you had to age up those characters. But with that being said, we'll start off with Sergio. What do you think about Claudia in the book, or not in the book, but in the show and in the movie?
I loved Kristen Dunst's performance in the film, man.
Yes.
It might even be better than Cruise's, to be honest.
Yeah.
Fuck, it was so good, man. I was blown up. I said, how old is she in real life? You know,
Like at the time, she's like 11. Like she's really that age.
Young.
Crazy, you know. So I mean, you know, just straight up kudos to that performance and the actor, man. She, you know, especially for such a young age, I think. Again, I don't know how it compares to the book, but just as standalone, the performance was great. And I'll say, at least, so now that I've seen Dunst and you've got the TV version, I'll say this: at least initially, I was not a fan of Claudia on the show.
Okay.
I think the episode that she first came on, it might have been 4 or 5. That was my least favorite episode. And it was, I wasn't feeling that kind of super bratish personality, but also it messed with the dynamic of the show. I think the strength of the show was between Louis and Homie and Lestat, right? So, but once she kind of, her character got past that almost, you know, that
pre-adolescent pain in the ass being
exactly, and she matured as a character, then I kind of was able to appreciate the performance on its own, right? Which I thought was dope on the on the TV show as well. Head to head, I don't know. I'd probably have to give it to Kristen Dunst, though, just because of the fact she was a younger actor at the time, and some of those scenes, man, like you've got a kid holding her own with like Pitt and Cruise, like, yo, forget it, man. Like, take that in. It's incredible, man. Yeah.
All right, Brandon, what you got?
I'm actually, as much as I loved Bailey Bass in this role, I'm gonna have to agree with Sergio. I'd have to hand this one over to Kirsten Dunst to have done, you know, to have held her own amongst the likes of Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Antonio Banderas. That was really impressive. I think at a young age, you know, because 94, so that would have made her probably about like 10, 11 when they were filming the movie.
That's wild.
When they were making the movie. And that takes acting chops. You know, that's impressive. Bailey Bass, you know, much older, is pushing 20 years old when they were making the show by the time it came out as well. So I think she had a little more experience and longevity under her belt than Dunst did. So, you know, Kirsten really set the standard pretty high, you know, for anyone who came after her. I think that she did, you know, as great as Bailey did. Whoever took over the role from Kirsten Dunst was always going to be in her shadow. So I'd have to hand this one over to Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah. You want to go, Brian?
Yeah. So, I mean, we talk about book Claudia is 5. That's just blows my mind. That's too much. I can't even. I don't even want to process the things I need to process in order to even go there. So
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
Exactly. It's too much for me.
The meaning of the cops kicking down the door coming down.
Exactly. Kirsten Dunst did amazing. She's probably my favorite part of the entire movie. Like, I love Tom Cruise, but she's probably my favorite part of the entire movie. But because she's 12, there's parts that she could not do for me to be believable. As far as from the you know, some of the scenes, sexual scenes, like wouldn't make me believable. So it's hard seeing at that young age. What I like about Bailey Bass is that, but once again, because I have little girls, and I saw a lot of my little girls in the way she was acting, even if it was bad and it was, just annoying and doing things that you're like, that's so stupid. That's what my girls do. That's what they do. So it made me believe what she was doing. All right. So I enjoyed that part of it. I enjoyed her growing up because her arc was better. The TV show's arc is better than the movie's arc. I think Kirsten Dunst is great the entire movie, but it's the same greatness. I believe in this TV show, you have more of, she goes through these ups and downs. I do not like the rape scene. I know you're not supposed to say the word. I hate that scene. It's too much for me to even like handle. But besides that, it shows how strong she is. And when she starts to really use her mind to beat Lestat and to start to set up this whole plan and be stronger than Louis because he's in this toxic relationship, it was so special and like unbelievable to me to see that kind of fall through. And that's why I think I sided with the Bailey Bass's character, because I feel like it was harder to do. But not that I'm trying to take anything from Kirsten Dunst, because I think she was amazing, but I think that was harder to do, and that arc was really special to me.
Yeah. No. What was that? I always say Kristen. Kirsten.
Yeah,
Kristen,
it's hard.
Dunst. Yeah, it's the INR and all that. But Dunst, she that movie changed the direction of her career. I mean, it put her on another level where you're like, oh, you're able to stand toe to toe with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt and be better than Brad Pitt in that movie.
And Antonio Banderas and be better than everybody else.
And she was 12 or whatever age she was. So that definitely like wow, that was insane. And I liked her acting in it was really good. But for me, Bailey Bass was more believable, and I think, like you said, I think the character's arc also was better, because I know where is it? Like Cookie, I saw this. Like Claudia's introduction was rough for me. That accent, almost a Southern parody, but I loved her after episode 4, and I thought it was the strongest arc.
The accent, that accent, man, was rough.
Was real rough.
It was out.
It was bad. It was bad. Because then it was like, yeah, you're kind of like doing Southern that parody.
Yeah. Exactly.
But also like it made a little bit more sense for me because at least Louis he spoke with a little bit more
class,
but also she's 14, doesn't know how to read, doesn't know how to write. Obviously, like she's in a poor part of town,
playing a part in a part that she's playing the part. You know what I'm saying? Like it's mind warping. You're like, you're doing this because you can't do this.
But I mean, they kind of do that in TV now when you get like a young black character who's like from the hood and didn't go to school, and they talk with like a different lingo, vernacular, so was it AAVE, I think it's being called now, so. But they do that as a trope, like, oh, but then you cut to like, either like an educated person or something like that, they show on TV. It's like, oh, this person speaks correctly, and it's such a silly thing. And I think they went that route with her early on, because you can see her talking from episode 4 and her talking at the end of episode 7. That's like a completely different character. But that's also being a 14-year-old to being what, 30 something, so, and then being educated, learning and stuff like that. So they did that kind of trope that you see a lot too, with like poor uneducated to educated, and really not poor either, because then her Lestat's money became her money, so she had money. So it was just like stuff like that, but the accent was a little a little much at times, but Yeah, it didn't bother me that much where I didn't like it, but yeah, as soon as she came in the show, I fell in love with it because it was just like,
Yeah, me too.
because as soon as they brought it in, it was like you saw the stress it put on the other characters, which is what having a kid does, puts stress on a relationship, especially I can't even imagine like a vampire, homosexual relationship, and then you skip. Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of crazy, but I thought she did really, really well for what she did, and then her just becoming smarter and outthinking Lestat, and like you said, Brian,
Even when
like
she became antagonistic to Lestat,
yeah,
just that whole part, that those 7 or 8 years was just unbelievable. It's just she just was whatever you. I'm anti you. No, I don't care about you. We know what Louis is, but I don't care. You don't. I don't call you uncle. Nothing.
Yeah. But like Jorge said, Claudia in 5, 6, and 7 was amazing. That chess scene, that's the part. And even Cookie agrees that chess scene was brilliant. Because like you already think chess, you're like, oh, the metaphor of playing chess in real life type of stuff. But like doing that while you're playing chess and you're having a conversation how you're gonna defeat the person you're playing chess with as you're playing chess with them. It was like it was just so good, and it was such a like
playing the part within playing the part. It was just like
but this all makes sense. Like that scene, I'm just sitting on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my god, but she's messing with Lestat, so he doesn't realize she's having a conversation with Louis, and it was like, so he's getting pissed off. Otherwise, he would have noticed, So, it's just like how smart she was. She's like, I just love that we're, But that was the only thing I think if we had more time with Dunst, maybe we would have got more of that from her. But she was in, just a 2-hour movie. You had to skip a lot of stuff and get to where you get, so
no, it's amazing. It's great to see all these things, and I think.
But and it seems like she's
these
gonna
are two,
have a
these
good
are
career.
two great actresses, though. These are two great actresses. That's what I want to say. I want to make sure everyone understands that. Can't hear you, Tank. Uh-oh. We lost him.
No audio. I don't hear him either.
Well, as we were saying, so Claudia also, so her relationship with Louis is also another character too. If you really want to talk about that, because Louis he lost his family, he lost all that, and then he has her to kind of build that relationship and give him back that semblance of a life. And that is another character within itself. And that's another reason why I enjoy the show, because you can see that relationship. And that was so very important, just for the character development for everybody. I would say we got exactly what Knox said. I really love Claudia and Louis' relationship way more in the show than in the movie, especially more than the book, because the book there's some things that kind of like have a sexual relationship, and she's 5 years old, and that's just like,
well, yeah. I mean, I can't even wrap my head around, like, what was the creative decision with having a 5 or a 7-year-old character and then have a romantic relationship with a grown ass man? I don't even,
But I think Brandon talked about this before, that really this was something for her to write, because she lost her daughter, so she based Claudia on her own daughter, who was 5 or 6 when she lost her. So that's the reason why she was aged at the point she was.
Okay.
But I think the story, once you base the character on someone, and the story kind of took a life of its own and kind of went on. It's not like she was thinking about her daughter doing these things, but it was just more the relationship kind of made a life of its own. She even said that Louis was really based on her, like her and her husband's relationship was Louis and Lestat. Sometimes she was Louis, sometimes she was Lestat.
Oh, okay.
And then Claudia was her daughter. And that's kind of how the whole relationship kind of was going. And that's why we saw a lot of this stuff. So,
all right, sorry about that, guys.
There we go.
My program just like closed down. So I don't know if you guys heard the beeps or not.
I was like,
okay. Sorry. But yeah.
The show actually gave Claudia depth. She was pretty was pretty dimensional in the book. She was very one dimensional, and Kirsten Dunst did a better job in the movie, and then I think Betty Bass did an even better job in the show because he gave more depth, but she had more time to do it. I think that's what Tank was going when he kind of got cut off.
Yeah.
Let's see. Doc says, the second I heard Claudia call Louis and Lestat Daddy Lou and Uncle Les, I was like, thank God they're not going to make this relationship weird.
For sure.
Horror Geek says, like, I adore Claudia's relationship with Louis on the show. Something I did not care for in the book or movie. And then she said, the train scene between them broke my heart.
That was
That's another relationship though. The Claudia and Lestat relationship was amazing in itself too. That was so, man, he was just, you saw how dominant of a presence he was and how dominant of a person he is and how terrible of a person he really was just to do those things. The books are full of incest looking at Lestat and his mom.
Oh, there's some more of that in there.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm very tempted to check out these books now.
Books.
Check them out.
Anne Rice is an amazing writer.
Yeah.
She really is.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the Vampire Lestat is going to be the one that you're really going to love.
How many novels are we talking about here? Is it just like 2 or 3, or am I?
No, the Vampire Chronicles is a pretty big thing. There's quite a few of them. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
I'm looking up.
We're talking about like Harry Potter levels, like 7, 8, something like that.
There's more. I want to say there's more than that.
Wow, eh?
15.
15. That sounds about right.
15. See, I can't get started, man.
Yeah, you start that,
I'm a completionist.
We're gonna be here next year, like, man, I can't believe I still gotta go. Got more.
15 books. That's wild.
Yeah.
Cookie's starting the books tomorrow.
Oh no.
The trio laughed at them.
I love the scene where the trio laughed at the vampire movie and Lestat imitated the vampire to make Louis and Claudia laugh. I do like Lestat versus Claudia dynamic, but I do like the sweet moments. They just like any other family, they did have sweet moments.
Yeah.
She said, Cookie said, I'm starting the books tomorrow. And she said, like 13 books. Nice.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Or Geek said, you can stop at Queen of the Damned. It should have just ended there. He said the show's only focusing on the first 5.
All right, so maybe I read the first 5 then.
And then we'll be able to see season
5's reasonable.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
See, I have
I just want my Vampire Lestat show, and I want my Queen of the Damned show, and I want them done correctly.
There you go. That's probably what we're getting next, because you got Interview, and then Vampire Lestat, Queen of the Damned, Tale of the Body Thief. What was that? Monarch the Devil, Vampire Mod, Pandora.
You can stop at Vampire Mod. I really think so.
Yeah, so there's a lot.
We don't have to really flesh out the entire Vampire Armand thing, but just that in itself is pretty interesting. The fact that you know his power is mind control, so he does everything Lestat could do. He's older and he can control mind, so you don't even know what Louis is doing. You don't know if Louis doing what if Louis knows what he's doing. That's really interesting too.
Yeah.
I heard someone knocking on my door.
Banderas is I love his Armand, man, and I think he's perfect for a role like that. You know, I would have been curious to see them go with like a Latino led, Armand in the show. But I mean, we didn't get too much from the TV version, just a tease. But he looks like he can hold his own.
I just want to ask you guys one question real quick. Then, does Daniel get turned in the first episodes of season 2?
No.
This is not really a spoiler alert because
no one knows.
Watch the movie.
Yeah,
it's just what do you think?
I feel like he's gonna get turned for sure.
I think.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brandon?
Okay. I don't think he will. I don't think he will in the first episode, at least.
Okay.
I don't think he will at all, because he already said he wants to know he's going to die eventually. You know,
I think
So,
Louis would
yeah.
would honor that. Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm not
and
saying
understand
that.
it. Understand,
Understand. I'm not asking you if Louis and Armand are going to change him. I'm just asking
Mhm.
if Daniel's going to be changed in the first
it.
episode.
It's like somehow.
I don't think he
I
will.
think that's what they were hinting at. They were kind of like, that's where they were leading that character. I feel like, you know,
Mhm.
but
Maybe, I don't know.
which I found weird. That was one thing that was like, is that what they're trying to hint at? Is that where they're leading the direction of this guy? Because I was like, I don't see him. I feel like he would not allow himself to be turned, right? So I hope
He's going to have the
that's
option.
not the case.
I could see. I don't know if it's going to be the first episode, but I could see either like Lestat catching him. You know, this is an introduction to him. He catches Daniel and gives him the option. I can either turn you, or you could die.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, but he's okay with dying. You know,
Mhm.
There we got a few comments about that one because I think Daniel can get to the body thief storyline.
Body thief.
So you know
That makes
that's
sense.
yeah. Then especially with Louis
Looking
like a hostage holding Armand's hand. Yeah, that's what it was. It felt like at the end. Eric definitely wants Daniel to be turned.
Yeah, see, I can see Daniel becoming another character. So you're is Lestat, Armand, Daniel, and Louis.
Building, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
a tough one.
if that. I don't know if that happens in the book or not. So
Yeah,
that
well,
was kind of for me.
movie,
But,
so because you saw the end scene.
yeah.
in the
Well,
movie.
then that was one thing. I always said I appreciate the start of this show was a continuation of the movie, but also saying like, hey, yeah, everything I said then was kind of like I wasn't completely right. Here's the real story, So that's why I enjoyed that.
He's the writer, so I just feel like if you're going to have more of the books, you need him to be around. And if he needs to be around,
he needs to
be changed.
True. He don't got that much time left, it seems like, in the show. At least as a human.
If you guys are watching this afterwards and you're have your own opinion, please put in the comments. I want to know what everyone thinks about this, because this is a question that I've been thinking about this entire time. I really don't know exactly where they're going to go with it. And that character does confuse me because Daniel was nothing in the movie. And the show, he is a pretty big part of it. So
yeah.
What do they do with him?
Yeah, they just kind of used him as a bookend for in the context of the movie.
I was just about to make that comment is I really like how in the show Daniel's this fully fleshed out character versus I would have liked to have seen in the movie more flashbacks, more Christian Slater's, like him actually chronicling, what's going on. But I've seen you guys talk about this show a bunch of times. I've seen a lot of talk online discourse. I have not seen one person mention how is this like not Anthony Bourdain?
Yes.
Anthony Bourdain.
Yes.
So just on that's all I see. Look wise, voice wise, and I actually thought I said this. I know Bourdain, he died a couple of years ago. Right now, and I had to Google because I was certain this was him. I was like, did he film this a while back or whatever? And I dude, it's uncanny.
Yes,
uncanny,
you're 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah.
So that's it. I think the way he talks, the mannerisms, obviously the way he looks is really good,
right
but
on.
The attitude, if you ever watch a lot of Anthony Bourdain, very straightforward, and Daniel, Eric's version of Daniel is very the same. That is true. That's something we never really talked about on screen, because I think we talked about it before recording, hitting that record button. But yeah,
I almost wondered, was it a casting decision? Did they want to base excuse me, his character a little bit, at least have a reference like on Bourdain, because like even like you were saying, Tank, like personality wise, mannerisms, and yeah, I got heavy Anthony Bourdain vibes, man, which was
Mhm.
I agree. I think
good to see.
Yeah.
that's
Right?
exactly right.
Yeah.
See, he didn't even get a name in the first book. He was just called the boy.
Oh wow,
Mm.
yeah. Eh?
And
I
then
know that.
Knox says, "I love Daniel and Louis' interaction and them throwing jabs at each other. They
Yeah,
definitely were
for
doing
sure.
that. That was
good.
definitely mentally fencing. They
Great
really were.
dynamic there, yeah.
Can you imagine them eating? You're eating dinner, and then he brings another person out to eat. Like,
Like while staring at you.
Yeah. As you eat your tomato soup, you're like,
he says, "I know Eric from Succession, so that was hard to get past. But yes, I definitely see Bourdain.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Cookie. I was like, am I losing my mind? How is not everybody? I was like, that's all that I saw, man. That's all that it was such a trip. Yeah. Great actor.
Yeah, I forgot he was in.
Yeah, I think I've known him most recently from his supporting role in Uncut Gems.
Was he in Uncut Gems as well?
Yeah, he was.
He was in
Right.
Uncut Gems. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the stuff. He was in talk radio in the 80s.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Horror Geek says Daniel called out Louis at the end was amazing. One of my favorite moments in the finale. That was amazing. You're lying. You knew it. You knew Lestat was not dead. And it's so funny because Armand's face changed like, what? What are you gonna say? And it was so entertaining. And I can't wait to see where we're going to get that first episode when they go back to that scene where Daniel's right there, Armand is right there, and Louis right there. And now we know we'll get Lestat soon. What's going to happen? That's going to be like,
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. But I just like Daniel wasn't afraid. He's like, kept reminding him, like, hey, I'm a vampire. I can kill you. And he's like, yeah, shut up. Like, I don't care. Like, you know, it's like he was just so non-phased about the whole, like, you're talking to a vampire. You know, it's like he was just, I don't know, maybe because he was already at that stage in his life where he was ready to die.
Still Louis the Pimp.
Yeah.
Was it raining, Louis? Was it right? Or was it dry? Which one?
Yeah. That was a great scene. Yeah.
So Knox says, yes, I love Daniel calling out Louis in the finale. Was it raining, Louis? Everyone thought it. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And they said, I loved how Daniel slapped Louis.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Like, damn. That's like going to a lion in his den and punch him in the face and just standing there like, what's up?
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't even expect to talk about Daniel, but he is a very important character in the show.
Yeah.
In the show. You know, he's very, very important. And I like when they come out of the memory and they're in today's world, you know, with Daniel and Louis. So I like those cutscenes of it. But yeah. I'm excited. I'm super excited about I think we were talking on Twitter about Mayfair Witches. I wasn't gonna watch it. I'm like, whatever. I don't care about it. After watching this show, I'm hooked now.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
There's no way they're not gonna connect it. They're connecting this, you know, the vampires and the witches, and I don't know whatever else if they want to do the werewolf stuff next too. I'm assuming that's gonna get tied in. So
Anne Rice has a lot of books. We already said 13 books, so there's a lot of stuff to connect.
I'm totally game for a TV Anne Rice universe. So whatever they want to do, I will be watching.
Yeah.
As long as it's better than The Walking Dead, and go from there. Yeah.
I gave up on.
I'm all for it.
I gave up on The Walking Dead a while back.
Yeah, I mean, she has a lot of books still, you know, that we haven't even. Yeah, because I know there's the vampire stuff, the werewolf stuff, the witch stuff.
Hey, Knox says the Odyssey of Recollection is one of my favorite lines. Dude, Daniel has some cold lines, man. He kept them coming at him. He just really did.
Yep.
So I just think Daniel is straight up an improvement over Book Daniel, because it's not even the Book Daniel, it's just Book Boy.
Yeah.
It's just the dude. And then Knox said, I love seeing most people being like, I'm not sure about this show, too many changes, etc. And then being like, wait, this is so good. Like, you get to like about episode 3 or 4, you're like, yeah, I'm good with this. You get to episode 5, you're like, this is cold.
Yeah, like I want the next one right now. Yeah, I mean, I when coming into it, we watched the trailer. I think we reacted to the trailer, and I think we're all like, okay, we'll watch it. I wasn't hyped about it, but very, 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 very different feelings after season 1. So
yeah.
Well, I think I told you guys I avoided this show. Yeah, I saw the discourse. People were digging it. I said, yeah, it's not for me. Look, I thought it was like some CW-ish kind of corniness, and just even like the. I mean, I'm a big fan of vampire genre, but I said no, I'm not gonna pass on this one. And then you and Cookie, you guys, man, I said, all right, let me check out episode 1, and then just legit, you consuming content and you're blown away by it's like, whoa. Oh, give me the next one. So I was good. I was able to like finish like in 2 binges, man. I think I watched like the first 3 and then the final 4. So it was
exactly how I watched it.
Yeah. It was very much better because I mean we got a lot of negative comments in our trailer reaction, about them being homosexual and him being black now, and so it was just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. So many people complaining about it. But when we actually did the review of the show in the two videos, it was nothing but positive stuff. Like people that liked the show came out and supported the show. So and I love that.
That's the power of good,
which was awesome.
Good content. Good TV is good TV. Yes. You're gonna win over. That's how you win over critics, right? Or someone naysayers. You can't. At the end of the day, you can't deny just quality production and entertainment, man. So
a good story.
Story.
Yeah. It shut up. It makes the haters shut up. It's like you can complain, but when it starts doing well, the ratings are doing good. Everyone's positive about it.
Yeah.
Like the haters can't hate because there's nothing to say.
Like, it's good. It's like it doesn't matter what everything they did. Yeah. The changes made so much more sense. You're like, yeah, this is great. I didn't know I was going to love it this much, and that's what it was. You loved it.
Yeah, it was super, super good. Last few comments, and then we'll call it a night. The trailers make it look very CW. Agreed. But watching the show and the clips in context, it's incredible. Agreed, Cookie, 100%. Then Knox said, I think it got me when I saw the Quiet Dark trailer. It had more of dark vibes. I don't think I saw. I only watched that first one. That was that CW-ish one, and then I was just like,
we can give it a try. And then you watch the first one, you're like, what the hell did I just watch?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
It was really, really well done. Well, anything else, guys? Any last thoughts or ideas you want to put out there before we end it?
I think I got mine all out there.
Yeah. Gotta wait. What, 2 years? 2020, 2024.
2024 is gonna be a banger of a year. Think about all the things that are coming out 2024.
Stuff.
Between House of Dragons, and now I'm gonna have Wednesday, and I want to have another one from this. Oh, season 2 is gonna be so great. Let's go 2024.
Yeah. Yep. Any last thoughts, Sergio?
Just I'm thankful I gave it a chance, man, because
definitely
it'll end up being it is a top 3 show for me this year. Easy. I think the only one I put it ahead is Succession for me. There's Succession, and then there's this, and then there's like everything else. Really, for me anyways. So and I'm gonna watch. I'm all in on like anything in this universe. I'm watching.
Please give it a chance. Please give it a chance.
That's what, after this, and also you have Alexandra Daddario, I think her name is in Mayfair Witches.
You had me at Alexandra Daddario.
Yep. You know what? She has that look. She's perfect for a vampire, man.
Yeah.
You know, so you know the look is.
Oh, she's a witch.
Oh, she's a
Give me
witch.
Oh, it's a witch. Oh, it's a witch.
Yeah, she's in the Mayfair Witches.
Witch,
Yep.
though.
She's,
Yeah.
she's perfect for all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian's like, she's
Hey, you a fan? You a fan?
Oh, much.
Yep.
I got some stories for you after. I
okay.
worked on a film with her. So
Really?
No
Yeah.
way, really.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's cool.
yeah. We're talking.
I'm a fan.
Oh man. All right. But yeah, great. Yeah, we're definitely gonna check out all of the Immortal Universe, what is gonna be called what AMC's dubbing it, which is Mayfair Witches interview and whatever else they give us. So yeah, I think when Mayfair Witches comes out, we probably gonna do a
We
weekly
do this weekly.
breakdown. You know,
Yeah.
we're not gonna do what we did with the interview. But
We found our mistake. We know better.
yeah. yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a weekly watch. But appreciate everyone coming in to chat, hanging out with us, giving us your thoughts on it. If you're watching our replay, make sure you leave a comment, let us know your thoughts on all the characters, any of the relationships, all that good stuff. And then also thank you, Sergio from the House of Nerd Show. So you want to let people know
Thank
one
you
more
so
time
much.
where they can catch you?
Hey, thank you guys again for inviting me on. You should have had a blast on this one. Yes, the House of Nerd Show, folks, a comic book focused YouTube and media outlet. We go live every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. And if you check out our channel, our last episode, we just announced the nominees for our big Nerdies Comic Book Award show coming January 15th. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. We're going to have a whole bunch of dope creators. Yeah, check us out.
Awesome.
You know, we try to keep it loosey-goosey on the show, have fun, not to take things too serious.
I mean, how serious can you have it with L?
That's true. That's true. Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. Yes, myself and Ella, the host. She's fantastic. We have a good time, man. Yeah, just two nerds talking nerd. Can we swear on the show? Can we swear?
Yes, definitely.
Nerd-ish, nerd shit. You know, that's it, man. Yeah,
Cool. So if you want to check Sergio out, I'm gonna leave the link in the description. So make sure you go show them some love over there. Especially if you're a comic book fan, definitely check him out. He's gonna tell you all the good stuff to watch. And like you said, man, talk about like chemistry and good relationships. You and L are a blast to watch
awesome.
together, man.
You guys are
You
so
know,
perfect
so.
with each other.
Oh,
It's so
man,
good.
thank you, you know.
That connection is so great.
It's always good to hear.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely fun to watch. So again, thank you, Sergio. Make sure you hit that sub button for anybody watching. But that is it from us over here at Spoiler Kings. Make sure you hit the sub button here so you know when we go live and when we post up new videos. We're posting videos every day. We go live twice a week. So if you want to be part of the show, make sure you hit that sub button, hit that bell notification, and join us live. But that is it for me, Tim Kramer, and for Brian and Brandon. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Later.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Boom.
Yeah,
That was
man.
good.
Appreciate it. That was
That
fun.
was a good one.
Yeah, man. I can make like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can make like 5 videos out of that.
That's crazy. So are you guys still live?
Yeah, so we'll stay live.
Yeah, we're
We'll
still
just
live.
so you can see the behind the scenes, everything, and this is more fun for us because we'll break it up and we'll
Mhm.
send you all the videos, and then you can send the small content so everyone can enjoy the content smaller. It's when they have time.
I got you. Yeah, the trip.
Yeah.
That was the trip. The first time I tuned into you guys, I'm like,
I
after
know.
everything, they're always interested. I was like, that's quirky, but okay, well, but I get it because you cut it up, and
Yeah.
that's actually pretty
Yeah.
smart. It makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because like we did we ranked all of phase 4. And it might up taking we with Zach Attacks, who was in the chat earlier.
Yeah, I was watching some of that stuff. It was fun.
Yeah, we didn't expect it to be. It was 2 days.
It was like 7 hours worth of content.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I'm
Crazy
like,
amount of. Mhm.
it was 3.5 hours, and I'm like, that's so long. And then Brian says, like, just cut it up each movie. So
It was 3.5 hours over 2 days. So 3.5
Over 2
hours
days.
and then another 3.5 hours. It was like 7 hours of content. Like it's
well, yeah,
ridiculous.
altogether. Once I cut it up and just put the important stuff, but yeah, it was like 7 hours altogether, and then just actual 3.5 hours of us talking about phase 4, and then that was broken up into like 18 videos. So
Crazy. That's
But I
crazy.
put up the compilation of the 3.5 hour, but I didn't put it to the sub feed, so it's out there. So if people find it, they can watch all of it together. But
Oh, okay.
but I put 3 at a time for 6 days, and it was just each video from Phase 4.
That's
So-
a lot. That's a lot of content to rank just the Phase 4, man. Wow.
But it's doing good. Some videos are doing a lot better than others, So
That's
But-
probably why we're gonna have 10,000 hours of content in a year.
yeah, like for the monetizing thing, you have to hit 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. We're over the 4,000 watch hours already.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
Yeah, and we're at 560, 559 right now of subs. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we just put out a lot of content.
That's
So
good,
we
man.
didn't even watch
That's-
any trailers
you
today,
gotta get
though.
4,000. That's where we're at. I think we almost cracked 4,000 watch hours, and then we're just, trying to grow.
Very
this
nice.
subscription, man. So
You want to do it if you grow it the right way, it's gonna be so much better when you reach your goal,
mhm.
and you don't have to worry about people
Mhm.
losing all these people, and you have a base that
Yeah.
of people that you're gonna watch and enjoy. So I
But
always
your
think
guys'
that's
channel is growing. Like I'm seeing like every week. You're doing the giveaways. Like I think when I first caught you guys, you were doing like the 400.
yeah.
And then
We'll
like
be
a
at
week
600
later,
in
you
a
did the
second.
500. I said, okay, these guys are on the come up. So
Dude.
that's cool, man. Congratulations, you guys are doing dope stuff. Honestly, man.
Yeah.
I mean, not to knock anybody. I can't. I'm not always. What's the word I'm looking for? It takes a lot to capture my attention and to actually stay and watch. Well, you guys, it's fun, man. I always dig it, so I try to tune in whenever I can.
Thanks.
yeah, good stuff, man. So keep doing your guys' thing, man. Real talk.
That's
appreciate
very
it.
appreciated. Yeah.
But thanks for
That's
having
what
me
we're-
on.
for sure.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I gotta
Yeah.
get going because it's like it's 1 o'clock my time.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, it's time to wrap this
Damn
thing
it.
up.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah. All right.
all right, gentlemen. Thank you so much. And we gotta do something. We gotta collab. We gotta do something together, man.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll
Well, we
see
have
me.
you had us on your show
Yep.
was a few weeks ago too. So
Yeah,
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
And you will see me in
No problem.
chat.
Brandon, we
'cause
gotta get you on, bro. We gotta
We
get
just
you
sit
on.
there
I'll
watching.
hear you guys on same time, man. We gotta get you guys.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Us with L, that's gonna be interesting.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun for sure. All right,
Yeah,
gents.
for
Have
sure.
a good night.
All right.
All
All
right.
right, man. Have a good night.
All right, I'll talk to you.
Right now. And then we'll close out the night with how about one more?
One more giveaway, digital copy.
All right.
One of my
God, this is the one. You need to do this one right now. That's awesome. If you haven't seen
one of my
it,
one of my favorite movies of the year.
I'm
Top
that's-
3.
That's my number 2.
Top 3.
right there.
Yeah. Pretty soon we're gonna be coming out. We're gonna give our top 3 each movies. So we're gonna make our top 10 list of movies and shows.
Mhm.
And pretty sure this is on the list. Just saying.
Definitely.
Yeah. So make sure you got it. Get
3,
it. It's
2,
coming down.
1.
It's coming down.
Bye, guys.
So hopefully somebody got that. But yeah, we'll probably start writing up the list, and then sometime early next year we'll make our top 10 list of shows and movies for 2022.
I'm with that.
We did too. We definitely did.
It was so good. I love the movie posters on Amazon. You can buy the movie posters of the movie.
Mhm.
It's made so there's like everything everywhere, but it's like the wiener finger. So it's like
Yeah,
a
the
movie poster
fingers,
of that. It's a ratatouille,
I
but instead of it's a raccoon. So you can buy the movie posters of like these different universes. It's really cool. So if you're a fan, that's definitely something
Mhm.
you could pick up. But loved it. Love that movie. One of my favorites. I watched it the other day too.
Yeah, it was a good one.
But cool, man. Anything else, guys?
Oh, it's time.
Nah, I'm gonna get in the bed.
Yep. But
All right.
You gonna go work
cool.
out, Brandon? I thought you were gonna go work out.
Oh, that was this morning.
I was in his
5
sleep.
a.m. I was down there.
Yeah. Jeez.
4 hours, guys. You'll see him in the gym again. That's what he does. Those are not
Pretty much.
blow up muscles. Those are real muscles. That's what he
Like
does.
you ever, if you're a Dragon Ball Z
Oh,
fan,
this is a
like
padded
Goku-
suit. You didn't know?
Yeah, it's like he's got the. Well, I was gonna say he's got the heavy suit on, so he's always working out. Like he, like he's doing push-ups in his sleep, like freaking.
He said straight up 15 times a night just do sit-ups.
Poor Brandon Davis. So shout out to Brandon Davis in our group. He had put a post up, and he's great. He's putting a bunch of posts up in our Facebook group, and he said something along the lines. He goes, "Oh, I hate that trope when people like wake up from a bad dream and just pop up." So many people commented, they're like, "What are you talking about? I do that all the time." It's like so many people were like, "That's legit."
4 times a night. This is where we go. Like, I do my Undertaker, the best Undertaker sit up.
Oh yeah, I do like the Zohan push-ups, like with no hands,
Yeah. So and then I never did it until I had a kid, and then you're laying in bed and there's a noise. You're like, wow, like what? Especially
and you just do that like that Nosferatu vampire style stand up, right?
Yes, right out of the bed, just wham. Oh man, so yeah, so shout out if anybody's watching, go check us out on Facebook. Link is in the description. We have fun there. Post a bunch of random stuff on there. But all right, let's get out of here. Thank you everyone in chat. Appreciate everyone in chat, man. This is probably our best live that we've ever done. So thank you. Appreciate it all. Hopefully somebody got that last movie too. But we will see you guys on Monday. We're gonna talk about a bunch of Christmas stuff. So it's gonna be fun. But cool. Let's get out of here.
All right.
Thanks,
have a good night, everybody.
See you later.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.